Party Panda player trying to go for the headshot onto harmlessly that you. Party Panda player trying to go for the headshot onto harmlessly. That looked so good.
What?
That
Is he
looked
translucent?
Like it went through his head and hit the wall behind him.
Crazy. Maybe there's some sort of a delay. That looked like it was right on point. I appreciate the spotting this boom there is. He can add violent good for party in the plan. Now he's gonna push. He's a solo. He gets the knock. He knows he needs to clean up his team. Yeah. Nice headshot. Boom. 2 headshots connect.
You Party Panda player trying.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Smirzera League Season 4 Division 1 on our final game of Week 4. As we are loading and dropping here onto Miramar, we can see that's actually quite the spread out of everybody. It doesn't look like we're going to have anyone land inside the same town. Well, maybe except for here in Picado.
Drop Picado.
Maybe.
Fun times.
Yeah, looks like it might be Luminosity. Oh shoot, who
Pure
was there
RNG.
with them last time? Pure RNG, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it's gonna be those two again.
Yeah. Sometimes you're so good with the names most of the time, but
Yeah, well, I know, but it's the colors that throw me off. And you know, Pure RNG, their logo is yellow, their banner is yellow, and then there's like, I think it's For Nothing that has like a medium yellow and also a yellow. So I have a trouble distinguishing that on such a tiny map view.
Yeah, and
Cat's not going for the flush.
Yeah,
interesting.
All the time that it took you to do that, Pure RNG is eliminated.
Yep, and they're out of here. Bye, guys.
You talked for so long that a whole team died.
Yep, that was not For Nothing. Just to be clear,
it wasn't. For Nothing, they're all the way down in the bottom right. You see the pink with the yellow.
Okay,
logo,
maybe I was thinking Alcadzia.
Yeah, that's all I can
maybe
think
that's
of.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
I think they're just making sure that they know that the other team is dead. Shooting their crates a couple of times really quick. Oh. That needs to be muted. Shoot. Production faults. Okay. We're fixed. Couple of hiccups in the production there. Don't worry about it.
So why do you have two streams? Just simply out of curiosity.
One of them has the scoreboards in between the matches. The other one does not.
Okay.
But the other one ends up lagging behind sometimes, so if we're not, like, on this stream observing, then it gets all wonky and stuff, so... That's what's going on with those two, and it's also the reason why I'm trying to convince myself I need a fourth monitor, to make production easier.
No. Here's what I would advise you to do. Get like a portable monitor so you can test that concept out, and you can get them used for like $30. So if that's something that you would like to do, then cool. And then invest in a bigger monitor and make it like a 4-monitor setup.
What if I want like a 5-monitor setup?
Then you'll have a portable monitor to be that 5th monitor. Easy.
This is so accurate. The brilliance coming out from you, as we're not even talking about anything that's happened with Smirzera League at all.
We're PUBG. Remember?
Yeah, we're PUBG. It's all about the pups here. We need some more animal content. As Shinboy.
Oh no!
Hits the wall and he's laying down. Klausen, I don't think spotted him out. So this could actually turn into an okay fight. The shot's now coming out from behind them. Up the hillside goes Michael, and he takes down Klausen. Pirlo falls on the other side. 2 players down for dead end, and Empire picked themselves up. Pretty darn good compound.
Yeah, they are also getting shot at from 2 different directions on their north side, from Perpetually Dangerous as well as Alcadzia. As you can see here, as Michael is finally taken out by... Oh, shoot. What was it? Just Tavon? Tavon, yeah. I almost said, oh, no, Tavon. But, yeah, only
Tavon.
Anyway, yes, Slaby and just Tavon. For potentially dangerous. Did I say perpetually dangerous again?
Yeah.
I probably did.
Probably did. You said it so much last time. It just, like, it's stuck with you.
It lives in my head
enjoy
now.
It. Like...
Yeah, Systematicos versus Mira, though. Is Mira 2nd place currently? I think they are.
No.
If I recall.
They are 4th place. See, that's what I was going to talk about, because we hadn't talked about the leaderboard at all. Right now, holding 1st place for a 3rd week in a row, Team Liquid. phenomenal. They're really topping the leaderboards consistently. Second place is Amigos. They had a fantastic start to the day, is specifically the second and third game. The fourth game was okay, and then they kind of died off in the last two, and that's where Team Liquid took over. And then you have Luminosity in third place, and they were kind of consistent throughout. They weren't getting super high placement points, but they were getting a ton of kills and doing super good, consistently wiping a team or two. And then you had Mira in fourth place.
Okay, and you know, speaking of Luminosity, they've already got 4 points on the board within a minute and a half. So, you know, I'm just saying, if logic dictates, you know, if it's a minute and a half or 4 points, they'll have, let's see, at the end of 25 minutes, they'll have 100 points with that logic.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's not the case, because we don't see that in the kill feed. But that would sure be a novel thing to observe.
I don't think it's possible. What, the maximum possible amount of points you can get is 70 in a single match. And that's if you kill
your Luminosity.
Every other team in the lobby, and then you get the win. But I don't think that's possible. Alcadzia, they're in 5th place, so good for them. They kind of jumped back up the leaderboard after, I feel like, a couple of weeks of mediocrity. They weren't super high on the leaderboards. I know one of the weeks they did have a stand-in for DIY, so it's kind of acceptable that one of the weeks they were a little bit lower. But yeah, any other teams really stick out to you? Did you open the Twire? You still have it. You should.
I haven't opened it.
Yeah, he definitely opened the Twire, guys. He definitely did it.
Yeah, I clicked that link. That's not shady whatsoever.
Yeah, I just realized that Mira and Systematicos were fighting on this hillside, and it's so far from the zone, and Roth is shooting mortars.
Yeah, and they're landed pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially dangerous. I'm not sure what player that is. We can't see it on screen.
Gabbard.
Yeah, just see. Ooh, okay. Look at that. Team Liquid doing presumably a 2-2 split. Where's the other two? Yeah, Sparking and Luke. Yeah, it's a 2-1-1 split. I don't agree with this, considering where this zone is. I think Luke should fall back to Sparking.
Nah, I think a 2-1-1 is fine. It's still phase 1. Karak, though, had no idea where Plents was. And that's a free kill there for Animaniacs.
Points are points, indeed. Psycho, though, also in the sights of Plents. Oh, he actually lands one. Okay. Nicely done. Amigos doing a late rotation. I don't mind that, actually. And normally, I wouldn't mind Amigos being way out here. But there's no one ever stays in Los Leones, because it's hard to leave Los Leones. So, yeah, I think this rotation coming out of Amigos, specifically through Los Leones, not a bad call. I do not mind.
Yeah, and, I mean, you have plenty of time, because as much as you probably don't want to take a bunch of blue zone damage, you can prep yourself for it if you want to be a team that knows you're super far off the pace already. Sometimes it's worth it to just get that extra loot, tank some phase 1 damage. Really don't stick in there too long for phase 2. Try and find an opportunity to third party your way into zone, get a couple of kill points, but don't try and fight from the zone. Try and really crash onto a compound that has a third party opportunity or something, and try and open up your options if you have to rotate in late.
Yeah, as we see our other late rotation here, Mira, just looks like they're just gonna scout out whatever compound here on the northwest side, and I don't think they're gonna find anybody for the next minute or so, because they're not really. Oh, and they actually get Fortunate Zone. Look at that. Yeah, just above Minas Generales. They might even take the mountains above Animaniacs. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely a possibility. You have the shanties right down below that are still open, because no one thought it was going to be this hard of a north shift. Potentially dangerous. They were in a spot where we saw them getting mortared earlier, and that's a spot that I wouldn't generally go to that early on. That's more like late game if you have to and nothing else is available that I see teams try and go there. So seeing them having sent one there that early kind of surprised me when I first saw it.
Meanwhile, here on the south side, we see our rotation coming out of Toyo, driving right next to the 2 remaining members of Dead End. We got Paradox and MHP. No shots just yet. Probably just a couple. Ooh, okay. Scores 1 hit. Looks like just to the shoulder, so not really any damage that matters. Yeah, Empire parachuting in. Going for a 1-1 split as XP and Shinboy are landing away from each other.
They had such a beautiful opening originally onto that compound. They were able to take two members of Dead End down and take it away. And that's a really strong compound, but it ended up going straight north away from the compound, unfortunately. So they took an E pickup, and now they have a 1-1 split. I don't know if last I knew they still had 3 players alive, so I don't know where the 3rd player is.
Oh, I saw one just on the mountain of Impala. You can see him only for a couple frames just a second ago. Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
On top of the mountain, there you go. I'm not sure who that was. I couldn't quite read the name. But yeah, they got at least 3 still kicking. It's Poonage up there. Okay.
They should be fine. They got 3 alive. They've gotten 2 kills so far, at least. They did end up losing Michael when he tried to push into the compound because a bunch of other teams had nothing else to look at the time because it was so early in the match. And he got taken down, unfortunately, and that's why they're a 3-man. Meanwhile, Mira, they ended up on this northern side with their rotate, and now it's just part of the zone where they can just try and hold other people out. We see 55 going for an even more north rotate to try and make their way in right to the west of Truck Stop.
Yeah, and then here we have Toyo right in the middle of the field. Probably not the most ideal location, and I'm sure they agree, so maybe Benya Kapani could stop here on these ramps. They'll be reasonably safe from north, from potentially dangerous, but I think it's going to back off this small little divot they do have, but they're taking a beating from Dead End to their south.
Yeah, and one of them lost their helmet earlier, so they're going to have to worry about not taking another headshot, otherwise it's an instant knock. The good thing is that it is Dead End shooting at them, so even if they end up getting a knock, they may not be able to push immediately because they're only a 2-man, unless they really think that knock is going to be the opportunity. And with that zone shifting so far to the north, right back up towards Truck Stop, if they get a knock, that might be all the opening they need to try and push forward and really try and do something with it. This is Empire's old compound. Team Liquid had taken it, but now obviously they have to make their rotate with that zone shift. It's going to be interesting to see where they try and go.
Yeah, I like their vehicle spread, as we also see Animaniacs moving on near parallel with them, so we might even see some drive-by from car-to-car fights here in just a moment. Barking does see this from Animaniacs. Do you think he'll pursue?
Oh, he was thinking about it.
I think he was thinking about it indeed, yeah.
Purdy, he
Purdy
pulls
Curdy
up.
hits a tree. Purdy Curdy's in a lot of trouble, but no. Sparking to the rescue, but also gets shot by DIY in the back. So Sparky's now dead, and now it's just,
It's just Animaniacs getting annihilated and Sparky and Alo going down. Team Liquid, they're down to a 2-man, but they picked up 3 kills. They're still getting shot both by Toyo and Alcadzia, and they have a dip, but it's not a comfortable one.
no, I expect them to get in their cars, maybe move up the hill just barely south of the road. Actually, probably close to where that crate is landing there in the dead center. That's not really a bad spot in any direction. You're only exposed to your south realistically. And I think that might be their target location going
Depending on
forward.
where potentially dangerous goes, but now we see Amigos. They're pulling into the back side of Toyo, who did get out of their dip and into this compound as Alcadzia left it. But here come the nades from Benya. He doesn't connect with anything yet in 12IG. He's just waiting behind this rock, waiting for anyone to overpeak.
do see some other shots. Ooh, nice damage into Benya Kapani as he enters the doorway of the house, but no knock coming out of 12. Yeah, I don't know who was shooting behind them. I think it was Ivaldi. Oh, I thought that was an I. Ivald T. Ivald T. Pretty Curdy actually taking a shed. Actually, not too far away from where I thought they'd go, but potentially dangerous. Has the eyesight just above. So yeah, Purdy Curdy's actually in a lot of trouble. If there's a blue zone nade, where do you go?
Or if
After
this
that.
nade makes it inside the window, and it does, and
Great
down he
nade.
goes. Beautiful there from Gabru. He's gonna prep another one. He's gonna throw it out. This one does not land inside. So it lands just outside. But this is what I thought might end up happening. Team Liquid, unfortunately, not able to get in their vehicles early enough, and potentially dangerous, went to that spot that you said Team Liquid should go to.
Yeah. Still here on the south side, though. It's Toyo versus Amigos. And from as best as I can tell, it's still a 4v4.
And the zone,
No one dares breaks a sight line from the looks of it.
Yeah, that zone pulling away from him, too, is going to mean that this fight really has to make something happen sooner rather than later. And it's going to be Amigos that have to try and go through Toyo. So they're going to really have to start trying to push this if they want to get the kills in a vault. He doesn't get the knock onto Benya, but now he does. But he's going to go down to that Molotov. No, I thought the tick may have saved him, but it did not. And that's 2 down for Amigos, 1 down for Toyo.
3 down for Amigos as 12IG actually gets knocked on this rotation, maybe to go for the res. And DNL, 5 HP, is going to push up. Black's going to push up, but no. It's Kaspitan from the Toyo takes out the Amigos.
And definitely going to have to try and get those reses up as early as possible, as quickly as possible, because that's going to cause some problems. Dream 1, they're on their rotate, and Bizzler is hitting some great shots. 1 more, and there goes Flamescur. 2 more already knocked by the hands of Luminosity as Rello gets a headshot into the back of Bizzler, who goes down to Roth right afterwards.
Yeah. Also, just shortly before this fight, Potentially Dangerous did eliminate Team Liquid. Missed that in the kill feed, but yeah, this fight here on the west side, excuse me, between Alcadzia and the 3 remaining members of Luminosity, I expect to heat up really quickly here. Snakers is just on this dead tree, and Cowboy, I don't think is quite aware of it. Maybe they are. I don't know.
He's aware that there's someone around here. I don't know if he knows that Snakers is so close. Obviously going to be aware that the possibility is there with Gats having just pulled up underneath the hillside. That hillside isn't safe, but it looks like Cowboy doesn't even have a red dot or anything to work with. Full iron sights AUG right there. Definitely not bad iron sights to have to use, though.
I agree. I mean, there's worse ones, like the Scar. I hate the Scar sights. Can't see anything.
The K2. Oh my god.
The K2. Actually, I don't mind the K2 so
I
much.
hate the
It's
K2.
definitely better than the Scar.
So I think the Scar is better. XP there, picking up a couple onto Toyo before getting knocked to Glock. So we see Empire get eliminated, but they got a couple of kill points right before they went out, and they did get a placement point to go alongside it.
Yeah, dead end though. Now down to their final members. MHP is just prone in the ground, and that's gonna be it. Alcadzia, Roth FPS with the final kill for them, and that secures them the whole south flank of our current safe zone, which might open up the door for an advancement into potentially dangerous in their southern location. Might contest them quite hard for it.
Yeah, Alcadzia definitely going to be wanting... They've already found 1 on potentially dangerous, so if they can find any more, then they're just going to be crashing onto that immediately, I am sure. And if they do, that's going to be very impressive. It's going to be an Alcadzia that we haven't seen besides, like, week 1 of this series.
I would have no idea. I wasn't here for week 1 of the series.
No, you were not. Yeah, why weren't you here, huh? Maybe you should have been here.
Let's see. That was 3 weeks ago. And it's what day? Today's Wednesday, but it would probably have been Tuesday. I was probably casting my own league or had just finished and it was just had no stamina for the day. Most likely. That would be.
Sounds like
That'd probably be
excuses to me. Has nades come up and over from Alcadzia Nidvan. He has the MK at the ready. He should be able to get a lot of damage out as this team pushes over towards Slabby and Glock, but the smokes are coming out. They're playing it smart. They're playing it safe to make sure to do as much as possible. Controller, Power World. Maybe at some point. I don't even know if I have it downloaded anymore.
I wouldn't know if you had that downloaded anyway.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, oh, Rello goes down to Flavin though for nothing. So yeah, we have a pincer fight going into Alcadzia, but potentially Dangerous isn't getting shot by 4-0. Why? They should be able to see them.
Nah, they just want to take down Alcadzia. Oh, good shot there. And that is going to be Slabby without a helmet anymore. One more headshot and down he'll go. Cowboy gets the opening knock with that nade in this fight. Alcadzia gonna be wanting to push forward. Cowboy with a nice little headshot there onto Voxic. And we're just seeing everyone's helmets getting destroyed so far in this match.
That seems like everybody is dialed in. Oh, that might be a good nade. Yeah, it's a good nade. Glock going for the res. I think that is the best call you can hope for, as Alcadzia is now getting into their vehicles as one more member is holding out Luminosity on foot. So they just push over this hill, and they're going to try to take out potentially Dangerous. So now it's just Glock standing, and Slabby is knocked. Is now dead.
He looked for the anchor, and he did find him before getting shot in the back. Unfortunately for Glock, Cowboy is still going to be in the zone. He's going to be able to get rezzed, and it's not going to be that big of a problem. In Czech team, the only team that actually has a compound to work with in this zone.
Yeah, as you can see, it's a 1-1-1 split for 4-0, as Moo. Oh, Moo is dead. As Moo is dead, Dior versus you is now and Flavin actually have pretty good sightlines on Alcadzia, but Flavin's going to have to move here in 10 seconds anyway, so that this flank is not going to matter a whole lot, as HFit is just across the street from in Czech. I expect them, I hope they have a vehicle, otherwise they're screwed. So they'll have 4 players shooting at them. In fact, I'd probably leave right now if I could. Yep, there it is. There's the retreat from HFit. Oh, but it's not good enough. It's Zavini taking out Havit, so that's going to be 1 point, but Samcro might steal it. But I suppose we'll see.
55, they want to take care of Luminosity up and over the top. Psycho gets the opening onto Snakers. Voxic gets the trade onto Tiny before Psycho finishes off the fight. So they'll be able to get that res up. Shouldn't have any problems with that. We're down to our top 4 teams in Czech. Alcadzia 55 and 4-0.
Yeah, Alcadzia, they're still a 4-man. I don't know why in my head I thought they were a 3 for the last couple minutes. I don't know why that was in my head, but yeah, they're a 4-man.
Cowboy got knocked, but he got right back up.
Yes, he did. Basically, for 4-0, it's just a 2v4, and it's going to be them versus Alcadzia here for the south end of the zone. And we have 50 seconds. Oh, they're getting shot up by this MK14. Probably the best DMR.
I want to see that.
So, yeah,
MK skin
that's
again.
I would like to see it. I mean, it's the MK12. Wrong MK. Yeah.
Show us the MK skin again. That looked really nice. Red and gold. Looked good.
It was very fancy, I agree. Okay. Selfish for in check. Andrew. Iron Zira. Rello for Alcadzia. On the south side, I'm just watching the players. I think Alcadzia knows that they have to take out 4-0. I think they can reasonably fight them. Just do a 4-man push into their location.
Yeah.
Or maybe even just a 3-man.
I think
Yeah,
the
maybe it's
problem
just
is
a
I
thing.
think 55 may get sightlines on it if they push too hard. And the zone pops and it just donuts. Maybe a little bit more to the east than the west, but it looks pretty donut other than that.
I think Alcadzia can move into 4-0's location without 55 looking at him, because 55 has to cross the street and go up and over a hill to look down on them. So I don't know why Alcadzia is dragging their feet on this. I mean, they have 30 seconds to do it to secure a better side of the zone, which I believe is probably the southeast zone. You have that small little half bowl over there.
Yeah, definitely
Uh,
plenty of opportunities for it. Maybe they're just not sure about the exact numbers on 4-0, but with how
that is true,
passive
yeah.
4-0 is, you would think that Alcadzia has kind of like locked on to there might not be a ton of them. DIY hits a good couple of shots there, and now would be a good time for Alcadzia to try and push forward, but they're still not.
Yeah, and just directly in front of Relo, where that crate is, it's just a big open flat space. The small little valley in between. So they could potentially just move up into that small valley on the southern edge, but I don't think that's what you'd want to do. Flavin, though, meanwhile, for nothing, actually kind of hearing the vehicle rotations, but not the push, is actually geared up for, or geared their position to get into this. Ooh, Samco gets an MK14. All right.
Okay,
Don't mind that at
okay.
all.
Two MKs. Two MKs out on the field. Two good MKs out on the field. Now my question is, do you like the Mini or the MK12 better?
Oh, I'm MK12. As
See,
much as I love the Mini, and it is good, it very much is. It's the MK12 for me, and that's simply because I can put a lightweight grip on it. Resetting to 0 just that little bit faster, so nice.
See, I'm a fan of the Mini. I probably just because I've used it more, but now Alcadzia, they're making their push now. Laven is going to be the first one to be there now. Dior is there. Roth gets the knock onto one, and over comes DIY. Both players go down for nothing.
Yeah, 55 and in check though here on the north side as in check leaves their compound. So Samcro with the first knock onto Selfish and all that utility coming out, the flashbangs, the grenades. I'm sure the smokes here in 2 seconds. Yeah, Psycho's gonna just hold this rock side, but gets knocked himself. So now it's just down to Tiny and Samcro. Now it's just down to Tiny.
Oh, it's strange
And
on all
it's down to no
sides.
one.
It's just one player left for in check. Roth, he's going to make his way across. Honestly, if they can pop a couple of shots at Vinny and go get the flushes instead, that's just going to be more kills for them. But Vinny, he's going back here. Oh, if they can spot out Zera. Oh, they do, and now they should be able to get Andrew next. And there we go, a couple extra points, and they're going to mop up all the points that were left over here. 2 players are back up for in check team, so we're going to have to see how Selfish and Vinny can do as they're pushing over here. DIY, he's still clearing, looking towards the compound. That's where he's expecting the other players to be, but they're not. They're right on the hillside.
The saying does go that 2 are better than 1. However, when it comes to a squads game, that's not much better.
Unfortunately,
but
it's
it is
not. But I feel like a lot of these players probably go in and do some solo squads every once in a while.
I would imagine they do. And that helps them in a losing scenario such as this. But neither one side has the zone to play. DIY, though. Oh, nice hit. I think if you're going to duel an MK, the SLR is a good one to do it with. I don't think the Dragunov is... Well, actually, it'd probably be pretty good at this range.
Yeah,
Within 100 meters.
Yeah. See, it's going to dominate right here if you can hit your headshots. Personally, I still prefer the SLR more anyways. I can spray a little bit better with it if I need to. So
I am with you there.
Then he spotted out, but he only takes a single bullet's worth of damage. Relo, he has Molotovs. I don't know what the other players have for offensive util. It doesn't look like there's a ton of offensive util left in this match. Vinny going to be the closest to the center dot.
I think Vinny's actually going to leave the centermost location, just going to play the edge. Sees Cowboy, but no! Receives all the damage, but Selfish there for the pickup and return fire. But that then means that the rest of Alcadzia knows where everybody is. There's the knocks on the grenade, so it's just down to Selfish with 10 HP. Does not go for the heal, is just going to wait for Cowboy. Cowboy's probably just going to come up over the side of this hill, put in a spray, and that's the game.
There we go.
GG's to Alcadzia.
If he could have got that double headshot onto Cowboy, maybe we could have saw the start of something, but that's not what happened. Cowboy able to connect with the shots after he canceled his heal. 16 kills for Alcadzia and the win in the first match. Absolutely beautiful from them, and your camera stopped working. Oh.
My camera stopped working. Oh,
yeah,
no.
you disappeared from the thing. So I guess it's just my beautiful face that you guys get to see instead of LyteByte's for right now. We'll fix it in between matches, but beautiful game there. Alcadzia did so much work to be able to take home the win in that one. So we're going to go to a quick break before we get ready here for match number 8.
And welcome back. Oh, you had this. Go for it.
Here we go. Match number 8 is underway. Last Miramar of the week as we get into this one. Do we see another HUD drop on Picado?
Well, if the last couple days is any indication of what's been going down, I would think so. Luminosity just being very dominant. But who knows? Maybe since it's the last games of the season, we might just see the other team shoo away somewhere else. We'll see.
Good playing path for Picado. People are going to be able to spread out to whatever buildings they want. Maybe not a fight right off the beginning, and might see it take a little bit more time. But it does look like we are indeed going to get that HUD drop again at Picado. There is a team somewhere that is starting with only 3 players.
Oh, really?
Yes. We only have 63 players in here.
Looks like it's potentially dangerous running a 3-man.
Maybe. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I try and look for it all the time. When they're dropping 4-0. I don't know if they had 2 players stacked. It looked like it might have been them too. One of those teams we'll bank on. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for potentially dangerous. They've been doing pretty good. They were in 7th place. And my Twire leaderboard that I have on the side hasn't updated. So as of yesterday, they were in 7th place. I don't know how it affected the leaderboard today, but I'm sure they moved around a little bit.
I mean, I would expect them to. I mean, there's a lot of leaderboard shakeups in terms of placement over the last 7 games.
Yeah.
Okay, but here we are on game number 2, and Luminosity is still trying to find the rest of Pure. But it looks like Pure is going to go for a little bit more of a consolidated strategy. Going to go for a 3-man push into Voxic's location. But no, Gats with the pickup on the Valiate. Voxic with the Panzerfaust. Propped up against the door, so probably knock themselves, or at least damage themselves in the future.
He has a Panzer and an S12K. Good headshot there onto Bizzler from Penta. We'll see if he can find any more. Gets a little bit of damage. And now he hears the footsteps of Gatch. Tries to go forward. 10 health points left after the Panzer. Penta somehow survives the explosion.
Well, I mean, the Panzerfaust literally translates to tank fist. And, well, Penta's not a tank.
And
or maybe they are, and that's why they're still kicking.
It didn't hit him like a fist, you know? It hit next to his feet, not his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's true. It is not called the Panzer Beast feats.
Panzer foot.
Yeah, the Panzer foot.
Oh, Voxic, is he going to get this nade right? No, Finna bounces down and away. Goes down the staircase, but it's Empire up on the hillside getting involved in this.
Yeah, as we see this kind of slow but still aggressive push coming out of Luminosity, just trying to get just that one more kill as Penta goes down to Bizzler. The S12K though. Creator code is seeing Voxic as well as whoever's to the left, which is Bizzler. Trying to keep them off of their remaining member. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is...
Are there any... Is Creator Code the only one left?
Yes. Yeah. Creator Code Senka. The last player that remains for pure RNG. He's in the 5-stack, so he can survive for a while, and he is just prepping the downstairs. And I don't know if you noticed, but there was another gas can.
Yeah, but did he notice? I guess I think he did. You can see it in the pistol slot or the pan slot, excuse me. Oh, they shoot it though.
Yeah, they blow it up so they can make their push here in a second. So now he just has to start another line of it.
Now here's the question: does Luminosity hear this? I think you can, or at least the drop of the gas can.
Yeah. He's getting ready. Luminosity, they're getting ready to push. Here they go. Oh, they spot
Oh,
it.
they definitely see it. That shiny ground, man. I mean, it was a great attempt. Great
He
attempt from
tried.
Creator Code. Gonna block the door with the bicycle? Okay, actually, you know what? That's a great idea. It's actually really hard to get around the bike without getting on the bike. So defending the top floor the way he is, I think will actually work in his favor. Luminosity trying to stun up to the third floor, but he's not on the third floor. He's on the top floor.
Yeah. He's ready for him.
Yeah, and he has the two best weapons for
He
that.
tries to go for the shots. He doesn't find any yet. Voxic, he's going to push with an S12K of his own. Nades go out. They got to try and push, but it's in the way. Oh, that nade does so much damage to Voxic, but he survives. And now it's going to be someone else that has to take the front line, or no, they're going to back off and try and heal up again. This 5-stack from Senka just being absolutely horrendous towards Luminosity.
The stun does go out, and that's going to be it. Bizzler taking them out finally, but not without taking Gats, or knocking Gats out with them. As we just got a preview of the zone, it's actually very central with a slight west deviation, but I think that looks pretty good for all the teams in terms of the spread.
Yeah,
no one really has to move for a second.
They had to take so long in this fight that they're going to have to try and get as much as they can, as quick as they can, because of the amount of teams that could just, like, happen to drive through or look around in that area if they want to.
I mean, how wild would it be if the zone just went to Picado again for the second day in a row?
Picado. Another Picado ending.
Yeah, that would be wild.
You barely see him in the first place, and we get 2 of them back to back.
I know,
days.
right?
That'd be crazy.
The odds of that happening, I'm sure, are astronomically high or low, I guess, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, what? Overall, your chances of ending in an open area compared to inside a compound or in a city is much higher to be in the open field because there's just more open field terrain.
Yeah. We still see a couple teams, though, that haven't really gone for the Exodus in a vehicle. As we saw, there was the one team in Hacienda. I think they might be going for an emergency drop. I didn't see what team it was, but they are up there.
Yeah, I mean, teams, they're taking their time to rotate in this one. You have some teams that really gotta try and turn their days around. For some reason, the leaderboard's still not updating, even this far in, so I don't know if there's something going on with the Twire or what.
It's the wrong link they gave you. That's
no,
what it is.
there's no
I'm
way.
pretty sure it's not, but that would be funny if
I
it
have
was.
the right one. I think Twire is just being a pain. Maybe, who knows? Maybe the update yesterday for PUBG made the Twire links all funny. You never know. It could happen. Surefire, I'm joined by LyteByteTV for this wonderful cast.
Wonderful cast, he says. Wonderful, he says. No, wonderful isn't the right word. It's the fantastic cast.
Fantastic,
See what I did there?
superb, superfluous cast. Is that how we can go? Superfluous? I feel like I understand the meaning of that word, but I actually don't.
I mean, it could be a stupendous cast.
Yeah.
Got a sandstorm here on the north side. We do see that emergency pickup. What team is on that? I can't see it.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
There's just so many fun words. I think...
You know what makes English fun? At least for me, is simple words that, like everyday words, but you purposely pronounce them incorrectly.
Filet mignon.
Like what? Oh yeah, filet mignon. Yep.
Here are my two favorite things to say. Oh yeah, my favorite meal there is some filet mignons with some spuds and asparagus. Or asparagus, if you want to call it that instead.
Aspergrass? I love aspergrass. It's so good.
Yeah, and then my other one, if we're looking at the exact opposite, is, I love to use gargantuan words that perplex the mundane mind from the vast English lexicon.
Ooh. That's a lot more, what's the word? A greater vocabulary than I have, and I pride myself on my vocabulary, so good for you. Anyway,
Me,
back to the fight.
Was way longer earlier. That nade, Luke 12 was a little bit low, so it could have done enough to get the knock. But Castitan, he does do enough, and he drops a stun. So Luke 12, he doesn't see anything. He tries to go for the repeak towards Caspitan. Now he's pushing back towards Benya. Tries to prep the smoke. Benya, he's going to be on the hillside a little bit, but it looks like Alo may actually end up getting rezzed here. The other two members of Team Liquid, they're on their way over. Caspitan takes a couple of shots. Sparking gets the knock as he crashes back in with the vehicle. Black from the schoolhouse gets the knock onto Purdy. The nade, it bounces off the edge. And now it's Benya and Black up against the two-man of Team Liquid.
Alo does get finished by Benya Kapani's grenade, but does score another knock on it. I believe that was pretty Curdy. As Black is actually cooking a nade for this spot in the wall. Sparking doesn't receive any damage, but Black can come around for this left flank and maybe make an attempt on this revive. But, it takes quite a beating for Sparking. There's the stun out. As Benya Kapani on the backside does put some damage into Sparking. Okay, and that's it. Toyo Esports is now eliminated as Purdy Curdy actually takes them out.
The trades there and the res onto Purdy was the difference maker. So with them being back up and in this fight, they're going to have 3 players and 4 kills to continue on to see if they can get even more.
Yeah, as we see our cameras over here on the west side looking at Systematicos versus Alcadzia, and maybe even a little bit of Amigos here to their north, as Cowboys is actually making an out-of-zone rotation. Not quite in the blue zone just yet, but they will be here within 30 seconds if they stay there. I don't expect them to be there. You know what, Luminosity Gaming, look, I think that Luminosity actually has a lot of territory under their belt. I mean, if we were to pull up the map again, not that I can do that, but if we were, you'd see that they actually control quite a bit outside of Picado.
Yeah, definitely a bunch of space that teams can garner here. Alcadzia, they're trying to take even more, trying to get the shots over towards Learn, but some good covering shots from Ribeiro is going to keep him alive, though the vehicle does get shot at quite a bit. Definitely lost a couple of tires. Alcadzia, it looks like they came in on the glider, so they don't really have a vehicle to work with. Learn getting shot at by In Check now, and aren't able to get any finishing shots, but the vehicle does blow up. More go out. One more bullet needs to connect, but Ribeiro continues with the covering fire before DIY ends up getting the knock on to Learn.
Yeah, as we can see now, there's once again a small exodus from all the teams that were semi-central in our old zone, now moving into a better location, as Mira is actually about to drive into Dream 1. As Fana and LFP, nope, that's zone denial, or placement denial for them, or position denial, excuse me. Fana going for a reload cancel. Peeks in, does get knocked. Okay, so Fana could maybe go for a heal, but no, it's gonna go for the peek instead, and gets knocked for it. And it's just down to,
The fake
I almost said, yeah, I was about to say Flame Skirt, but that's just not the case.
The res coming out immediately onto Peekson, so we'll have to see how fast can Peekson make it over here. But it's Amigos with the third party. They get the knock onto Hanzu, the flush onto Peekson, and now it's down to just Flamescur, and look who it is. It's Crack for 55, also looking to get involved, so this could end up being a four-way fight for this compound, and Amigos are looking the most primed to be able to take this one as Flamescar, he's pushing forward, fakes in, closes the door, and denies Flamescar's stun.
A stunning development, if you will. Har har. I did a playable shield, gonna go up in the garage. I think if you're Flamescar, that's probably a good spot to put it. But that also might not be so great if the Amigos go for a split push onto both sides of the garage. Vixen, though, going for a standing position on this door. I do not agree, because the Amigos walking the door can see his feet first.
Yeah, but
we just have another third party for 55 as Karak knocks Vape. I almost said fake. Ugh. Vapescar for Amigos now down.
Flamescar, he actually came in and he stole the kill away. And now trying to go for the drop shots, but a vault with the covering fire able to get it done. 12 IG takes a lot of damage from that nade from Fakeson. Now the Molotov gonna come out. Was it enough? No. Fakeson still alive, being a pest for the Amigos.
It is a 3v1, but Fakeson has actually a pretty decent location to defend from, but if they throw a stun up these stairs, it's game over. There's the stun to the second floor and just closes the door. Moves the folded shield.
He's ready. He's prepped. He wants them to push. He's like, I will take this fight. I'm not afraid to be fighting you guys here.
Indeed. Dixon just playing the audio game. I mean, that's just one of the great things about PUBG, in my opinion, is the sound is actually pretty good for, like, everything. You can hear everything. Directional audio, very good. So, yeah, I think Fakeson, last man standing for Mira, just going to play the long game. Meanwhile, Team Liquid here at Church, fighting who I believe is Empire. No, it's 4-0. As DRs versus you. Just holding the main door is going to get peeked by two players. Going to go into the tower stairs. As Moo is the only other man standing for nothing.
And he gets the knock onto Luke 12. So he opens up the fight. Meanwhile, now Sparky getting shot in the back by Gat, so he's going to have to back off, try and go for a different position. Purdy, he has a shotgun with some beautiful colors on it. Ready and waiting. He chucks down a smoke to be able to try and get the res onto Luke 12. The nade getting prepped by Purdy. He's going to throw it forward towards Moo, but doesn't find a knock.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to go for that res, I think it might have also been worth it to maybe close the door, because it will protect you from a lethal grenade. That said, it would also mean audio queuing. Oh, Moo now going down to Sparking, just coming in from the side door. There's the flush, and now it's just DRs versus you in the church tower. No bells are ringing. Purdy Curdy with the shotgun moving up the stairs. DR versus you almost gets away for free.
As Purdy misses the first shot, but able to connect with the second. Sparking has been knocked here. Fakeson, he is low, and there he goes down to a vault, who's now just going to try and run as Sam Crow ends up finding DNL in the zone. DNL probably going to go down here. Don't think he's going to be able to get rezzed. A vault going to be in a tough situation. He's just going to have to try and heal, maybe get into some placement points. But I have finally got the updated leaderboard over here on my other screen. And Alcadzia, with that last game, jumped up to second place and is 1 point behind Team Liquid.
Yeah, and at 69 points. Nice. 70 points for Team Liquid. So yeah, this is kind of a close game, as Team Liquid is still currently up there, and I think Alcadzia's, yep, there they are. They're kind of in the center east side of the zone. So they might, we might see a leaderboard shake-up here in the top two, depending on which team is eliminated first, which, from the looks of it, will be Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think overall, though, Team Liquid, they've gotten a lot of kills so far in this match, so it kind of depends how well did the other team do. As Shinboy, he finds the knock onto one. Purdy driving by is going to be surviving right now. He doesn't get shot out of the vehicle. So the question is, can he find somewhere to actually fully survive? No, he goes down to Bizzler as Luke 12 goes down to the blue zone, and they go down in 8th place.
How many kills did they have? Did you see?
I forgot to double check. I know it was, I think, around 7.
That sounds about right. Yeah, in check though. Here on the north side, fighting 55 Tiny, and I'm gonna guess that's Sam Crow, and Karak, also just barely south of them, and currently in the zone. So I think in check is kind of in a rough spot. As potentially dangerous is also above them on the high ground, and that's gonna force in check to do a 2-2 fight. Meanwhile, Animaniac's putting some damage into Dead End's vehicle. Perillo, forgetting that the door is locked, isn't opening the door. Instead, shooting it open. But no, that's going to be it. Animaniacs with the lethal utility just raining the red zone into that location.
All because
that's why it's locked
up. Absolutely beautiful there from Animaniacs. They knew what they were doing. They blocked the doorway, and it completely stops the push from Dead End.
Oh yeah, I was making a joke, and I did not expect that at all. But yeah, it worked in Animaniac's favor, so they got a squad wipe and secure a pretty strong compound coming into the late game. But let's see if the next zone is going to hold it there. Meanwhile, Voxic down for Luminosity Gaming as potentially dangerous actually gets that one. I don't think they're going to get a finish on that kill. Oh, takes a nasty hit from Bizzler.
Save on there. His helmet, it's almost destroyed. He's got to be careful, make sure he can keep that up towards the late game. He doesn't want to go into the final couple of circles without a helmet. But yeah, Animaniacs, they remembered to lock their door, and it worked well for them as the team tried to come and rob their compound.
Yeah, potentially dangerous, seeing this 2-2 split now from in check. And 55 might even have a sight line onto Zavini here for in check here on the east side. I don't know if they can pick that for free.
They picked up kill onto Punage there. That was beautiful. Empire, they're going to have to make a pretty big move in 55. They are on the hillside, and they are going to be in a very, very good spot. Luminosity going to be across the road. Going to probably have to move before the final zone. But they're in a pretty good spot to last until the last few teams.
Yeah, indeed. I think I feel for in check here the most. Even though potentially Dangerous will have to move first as the zone collapses, you know, they have Luminosity Gaming probably going to hold them out as they're going to push into 55's location most likely. I would expect it. Snaker's going to go for the risky play. Are you trying to get the crate or something? Oh, get in the shed. Okay, I agree. Great spot to have. Doing a 3-1 split, trying to just get that little bit of territory, but Snaker's now down in that shack. So, good bit of a gamble, but no payoff.
This is beautiful there for Mugzer, finding the angle. Unfortunate there for Snakers and Luminosity, losing a vehicle as well when they sent it across. Kadzia, they're spotted out by Mugzer now. Can he get a second knock on a team inside? And he gets good shots, but not any headshots or anything. Well, Animaniacs, they lose 2, and Czech have also lost their 2 on the other split across the road, and it's going to be Selfish and Andrew that have to try and make their way up the hillside towards 55.
Yeah, as we can hear some utility coming out onto this Selfish's rock. Their only line of cover in between them and 55, but that's a tall order to move into Samcrow's location as the smoke dissipates, and that is Selfish now eliminated. Andrew taking a beating, getting into their smoke, almost going down themselves. It's going to get that nade, or that heal off, excuse me. I expect maybe a nade to come out, but I think this is the end of the game for in check.
Kadzia may be quick to follow afterwards, so it's kind of up to some of these teams. Who's going to go out first? Animaniacs, they're looking to be in a rough spot. El Kadzia, they're in a rough spot, and so is it in check. Which team falls first? Which ones pick up the extra placement points? As we see Animaniacs, they get one, but they get traded right afterwards. XP. And now Mugser goes in, and Michael able to find the knock. He's ready and holding for Plents. Gets a couple of headshots, but the 3-gear saving him so far. And he goes for the spray with the mini, and he's able to take down Plents.
Yeah, Cowboys still inside that shack, though, just barely to the east of them. But I think that spot for Empire now is just too strong. And I think it still favors the zone. Are they barely inside the zone? I don't know. Meanwhile, Luminosity Gaming now pushing into what was once Snaker's shack. And, oh, Alcadzia is now dead. Cowboy is now dead.
They were able to get
move out.
Snakers back up, actually. So they are back up to a 4-man. They have 3 inside the shack, and it may be in their best interest to just let Empire and 55 fight it out. Empire, they were in 9th place after going up a position in the last match. So with a good match here, I mean, they're in 3rd place right now. Shinboy gets a knock onto Psycho, and if they can push on to 55 and cause even more damage, they may climb the leaderboard even higher.
Yeah, Psycho is currently the furthest south and is knocked, so Empire might just push into his location, and that might prompt 55 to actually reinforce Psycho's spot as XP as well as Michael. Throwing out their utilities, their smokes.
Their
just
nades.
gonna try to isolate as many players as possible. The stun comes out.
All of this. If Empire can get, like, a couple more knocks, if we see knocks get traded here, then it's going to be Luminosity. It honestly could be Luminosity just moving up to the hillside anyways, with both of these teams kind of focusing each other here. Gat's on the other side of the road, distracting any players that are left for 55. And yeah, Luminosity does make their way, and they're going to backfill 55's previous position, and 55 may be the first team to go down here because they're just going to get pinched by 2 different teams.
Yeah, it looks like an XP trying to hold this right side flank. Does have the pickup shield, but no! It's Karak with the final bit of damage on the XP, so the left flank is now collapsed for Empire. So, but this pincer is going to still be very devastating for Luminosity. Oh, we hear P90. That must have been in the crate there at the shed. But Bizzler does... No, Voxic goes down to Psycho, actually.
But this Psycho, could be he finds a second, but the P90... too strong for a close range fight, does end up taking down Psycho. He's gonna have to pick Bizzler up and try and get him into the blue, from the blue zone. He does, but is he gonna be able to get the res in time? Yes. Empire, they're gonna try and start pushing forward. They're a 2-man, and it's gonna be Gats up against them both until they can get the res onto Bizzler. The shots coming out from Gats, and he finds Shinboy. Michael, the last one left, spotted out. The shots being traded, and Michael winning it so far, but Bizzler from the side after getting rezzed, able to take him down, and it's Luminosity with 12 kills, able to take the chicken dinner in match number 8.
Yeah, let's see, what would that put them at? So they're currently 3rd place at 62 points, and that's going to be 22 additional for them. So that would be 84 points. So as it currently stands out, it would put them firmly in 1st. But as we saw, Team Liquid did get a handful of points. I didn't think they placed. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. I think they went out in 9th. But I believe they got 5 kills, and then you had Alcadzia, who got 4th place with a couple of kills of their own. So our top 3 is going to be very, very close going into this second half, probably, unless someone can be absolutely crazy in this next match.
I suppose that's entirely possible, as we saw Team Liquid yesterday, while not placing particularly well in most of their games, did really great in game number 4, and that's what really propelled them into the lead. Or maybe it was game 5. It was an Aragel, excuse me. Yeah, it propelled them into the lead, and it was a wide margin until game number 1 today, and where Alcadzia closed the gap to 1 point. A single point.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how the leaderboard shakes up. But now we're going to go to a quick break before we get ready for match number 9. So if you need to grab a snack, anything like that, now's a great time to do it. And we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Match number 9. We are at our halfway point with this match for day number 2. We saw a little bit of a shakeup on the leaderboard in between matches. So we have Luminosity. They are in first place now. And then we have Alcadzia in second place, tied with Team Liquid, but they have more placement points, so they steal away second place. And Team Liquid currently at their worst positioning so far, all series long.
Their worst positioning? I mean, they were 7th place at this for the majority of yesterday, actually, and they shot straight up after that commanding win in Game 5. So I've just got to fact check you a little bit. It's not actually the worst position they've been in.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta put you in your place. You know.
Wow. I'm gonna go cry in a corner.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take the cast off from here then.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we can see, Luminosity Gaming going for the Neox Track and Factory.
Or did I invite you?
Neox Factory and Test Track. Excuse me.
Whoa,
Whoa! What a zone!
Jiaotin zone?
No.
Maybe.
Okay, I don't think it's gonna end in Jiaotin, but that would surely be one heck of a zone. I would expect an even worse scenario than yesterday's Picado.
Maybe the lakes down to the south. I did like. Okay, I did unmute it. I didn't really hear any sounds. We're good. I did unmute. Yeah. No, it could definitely be interesting. Stadium is in on the edge, but it just means that we don't have to see Test Track. And I feel like not a lot of people are going to complain about not having to watch Test Track after Test Track after Test Track.
Yeah, indeed. But as we can see, 55 is actually sharing Neox Factory and Test Track with Luminosity. No initial fight just yet. I think, in terms of the loot, I think 55 has the better side of the compound.
They only have 2
'Cause,
players
Factory's
over
pretty
here,
good.
so I think their other
where'd
2
everybody go?
players are a little bit spread out, and it's actually pretty similar with Luminosity. So Luminosity, they're a little bit closer together overall, as Crack is way over there to the east compared to the rest of his team, which kind of surprises me because I feel like there's really enough loot at Neox Factory, at least for 3 players. I want to see it
I
end here.
think Neox Factory is pretty good.
Right here is where I want to see it end.
Yeah, right where Alcadzia is, here on the south side of
Yeah.
Jiaotin. Yeah, okay.
Put it like right in between those 2 little ponds. That's
Yeah, that was
what
a
I want to
sick
see.
jump. That was a sick jump, cowboy. Just saying,
Ride
but
him,
yeah.
boy. Ride him,
Yeah,
cowboy.
I'll ride him.
Oh god.
Yeah, Roth and Cowboy, and like I think that's barely off the bullseye of this zone. Yeah, there's been a lot of edge zones the last couple days that I've just now noticed and thought about.
I'm
This
kind
being
of
one of
down
them.
for it. It's a lot more fun than a lot of these centralized ones or ones that we've seen over and over. Obviously, with Erangel and Miramar, they've been around for so long that we've seen pretty much every circle. It doesn't mean that some aren't a little bit more rare than the others, but a lot of these players know how to play a lot of these zones. They know what the end game is going to be like, and they're pretty prepped and ready for it.
Yeah, Plants getting out of dodge before the rest of potentially dangerous can get in and close and secure the kill. But Tavon putting in a ton of damage on not only the car but as well as Plants. So and Slabby gonna go in for the pursuit. Ghost Star General though might try to shoot him away though.
It looks like this is as far as they pursue. That's a good idea, but the shots are gonna come out in return. Slabby, his vehicle going to take a lot less of a beating than Plants.
But yeah, Animaniacs now reconsolidating on, still a little spread out, more than I would probably like to see in Jiaotin. But it's also phase 1, so they could probably afford to do that. 55 now leaving the Neox Factory though. Did they leave Luminosity behind, or did Luminosity leave first? That's the mystery.
It's a mystery, and I don't know if we'll really have an answer. All we know is that we still have 65 64 players alive past the 5-minute mark.
Wow. That's the first time that's happened all day.
Oh, series, I think. Usually we get at least one person that dies off drop, but that hasn't occurred. Every single person got into the lobby, so we're still at 64. Can we make it to 10 minutes? I doubt it, but that would be insane.
I doubt it as well, as we can see. Oh no, InCheck is gonna drive straight into Mira. I think Zinni and Selfish are about to get lit up. As we can see, no knocks just yet. Okay, there's one knock. Selfish is down. Vinny driving into the lake's gonna have to swim up right into LFP. Yeah, we can hear the audio, and yeah, Mira's gonna secure 2 kills for basically free.
Vinny may just
Vinny,
die here.
I think Vinny should just
water. But LFP1, he's sticking around for long enough that Earn Zero may be able to get some shots onto this LFP1. He has to back off now. And Vinny, he hops out of the water, but he's not able to get a knock. Oh, he swims, and it's actually over towards where I thought I saw them throw a grenade. So he goes back down into the water. Earn Zero got taken down. Vinny goes down to the water. Should just completely die unless LFP1 can get a nade onto him in time, but won't be possible. And we just see the graveyard of vehicles just underneath the water.
And Phantom with a roadkill on Arnzira for InCheck. So I think that's just one member. I think that was Andrew TD that I saw, the last man standing.
Oh my
but
god.
Before Nothing's gonna drive into the same location, but they're gonna actually pull through. They're not gonna veer into the lake. So I think they might survive out. But yeah, DR versus you is gonna take the battery bus, my favorite vehicle in the game. It's just simply how quiet it is. It's gonna actually opt for the south bridge. I think Flavin and the rest of 4 Nothing's probably going to do the same. Shinboy for Empire. Sam Crow tried to put them in.
Shinboy, he's surviving for now. He takes at least one headshot there. Can he make it out of here? But with his life, yes, it looks like he can. I'm just so surprised. I don't know where Mira got that info from. That, like, that is the rotation spot up north. Because there was 2 different teams that went through there. They almost took out one completely. And if they had just been ready for it, just another, like, 10 more seconds to get prepped, they would have had 4-0 dead to rights as well.
Yeah. As we see, we have an emergency pickup on the way here on the southeast side of the zone. I didn't quite see who was grabbing that, but we also have another team caught way out there. Meanwhile, Poonage for Empire taking the glider. I like it. This is one of those things that you don't really see in competitive. Like, you can see it, but it's not something overly common. Is a glider.
I think it's becoming more common, though. I feel like if you look back at, like, PGS 8, you would average 1 glider a match. I think you would.
Yeah, I think when it comes to competitive, though, the glider is, like, while it itself, Luke getting a nice knock on an MHP. So that's 1 point for Team Liquid. But yeah, as I was saying, so the glider, while itself isn't very big, it's a huge target. Everybody can see it, and everybody will likely shoot at you, which I think is probably why you don't see it in use very often. However, Poonage is on an edge of the zone, so he's actually eliminating, I mean, figuratively speaking, 180 degrees worth of potential sight lines onto himself. So he could probably afford to fly that for quite a while.
Right. And you may not see it for very long. But I feel like it is used, and it gives you a lot of information. And then you're right, it gets shot at pretty quickly, and you just see people go back down and pick up a vehicle or something. But it gives you a way to get very high vantage point without really risking not being able to rotate. And the zone, it does shift towards the middle, towards El Qadzia, that spot that I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're the map soothsayer today. As Pure's dropping right in, just in front of Luke 12. Did Creator Code Senko actually see this location? Oh, nice shot from Ghost Star General, but it's gonna go to Team Liquid though. As Sparking picks up that point. But yeah, Animaniac's trying to do some damage, but yeah, I think Team Liquid pouncing on that opportunity to get some of Pure, who are 2 of them above Luminosity on this rock here. Oh no, they're not. Okay.
No.
Kind of look that way on the
down
mini-map.
on the rock below, couple of shots, and the nade bounces off and harmlessly away. But H11 Jr. is able to find more shots, but Bizzler gets the kill steal. So Animaniacs, they've gotten a couple of knocks, but both of them have gotten stolen away. Meanwhile, Finna able to get a knock and a flush onto H11 Jr.
Yeah, still 16 teams alive. No one's been eliminated just yet. And we're past the 10-minute mark. Has
So-
that happened all series?
I think we've had another situation where that happened. Or at the very least, we had 15 alive until, like, the 15-minute mark. But definitely, I think it was closer down to, like, 50 players or something. So, we're seeing some teams survive with a little bit more of an unusual zone, which goes one of 2 ways. You have teams play a little bit more cautiously, or it's everyone fights at every single turn.
Yeah, and I think this is the fight that's going to matter the most is Empire versus Amigos. And maybe, just maybe, Dead End might get in on the action toward the tail end of it here on the west side of the zone. But it looks like Empire might be sniffing into dangers now of actually leaving.
There's a second glider.
There's a second glider, indeed. Sam Crow, do you have a car? Oh, nice hit. Scores 1.
The wing does get put down there from LFP1, and now he's going to try and turn his back towards 55, so they can only shoot at the engine block and can't really get any more damage towards him. Good flying, and now they know that that spot in zone isn't going to be safe, and they can kind of look towards a new spot with LFP1 scouting ahead in the glider.
In check, Andrew with... Did that sound weird to you, too? Like, I don't think I've ever heard it rev that high, the battery bus. Was it just me?
I guess I zoned out when it happened. I mean, Andrew was the last one left for in check. It looks like he's gonna just find a compound and try and chill there. But unless I just, like, completely zoned it out, I didn't really notice anything.
Could have very well been me. I've been hearing things all day. That is not a crazy joke. That's just a fact.
You should just stop talking to yourself in your head. Maybe?
Maybe. Or I can just stop listening. That would be something.
That doesn't seem like any fun. Neither of those options are fun. Keep on talking to yourself in the head and keep on listening to everything it says. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I do have a very pleasurable conversation with myself. I'm quite fun.
Good. That's what we like
For
to
example,
hear.
I want to say, my other me wants to say that Mira just crashed into a tree. No matter how good you are at the game, someone will eventually do it.
Yeah. They'll flip their vehicles all the time, but it doesn't look like right now is the time for Mira. LFP1, he's still up in the glider, still trying to find any openings and crack up against that tree. VHC may just try and pull up onto this one, but it looks like crack. He was thinking about hopping in the vehicle. Now he's going to hop in the vehicle and try and make his way. Can he, or is he going to get shot at? There go the shots towards Crack and 55. They're probably going to want to hold right on the edge of this zone to keep Mira from being able to make it into the zone.
Yeah, Sam Crow trying to save Karak's location, but I think Mira's just adopted it for the time being, but they still have to go. The zone is still closing. Fakes in, though. Doing a silent drive, getting shot by Sam Crow as Karak is on the south side of his car and of the tower. And he's still kind of alone up here as Fakeson actually scores that knock. Karak now in a lot of trouble. Sam Crow taking the heat from LFP even further to the south, so I think that's probably going to be Karak dead. Oh, Sam Crow, though, from Fakeson. Nice shots. taking them out. Are we about to see another one? Is
No,
Tiny does...
Tiny, he gets a knock onto Fakeson in return, but 55 down to a 2-man. Fakeson should be able to get picked back up before the blue zone does too much damage, and they should be able to rotate their way in. You can still kind of out-heal Phase 3 pretty easily. It's once it gets to Phase 4 that you got to kind of question it a little bit. So they have plenty of time until that happens, as Shinboy gets a knock on to Learn, and the rest of Systematicos, they're going to be trying to make their way in. Systematicos, they have a win, but they're all the way down in 13th place. So they haven't been able to do much besides that one win that they've gotten, and Zera flips his car, and XP annihilates, and Zera down goes Systematicos with a little bit of help from potentially Dangerous, who now might have to rotate their way straight through Empire.
And that's the first team eliminated after the 15-minute mark.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee indeed. Let's see. We do see that Empire is now down to Finna, who actually manages to stay alive in Jiaotin. Looks like Luminosity did get the other member off the rocks they are currently standing in as potentially Dangerous. Now kind of rotating in as Alcazia's gonna stay in that one compound you want it to end on.
Yeah.
For the looks of it.
They're gonna reconsolidate, and ooh, there comes a team knock. Caspitan runs over Adira, and that's one of the first team knocks I've actually seen this week, I feel like. We haven't really seen a bunch of those, as in Check goes down to Dream 1.
I think that's 0 kills for both of the eliminated teams, so we won't see any points going to either of them. Potentially Dangerous versus Luminosity here in the coming seconds, I'm sure of it. Snaker's pulling out the hand grenade. Dude, I didn't see a throw.
I don't think they know that potentially Dangerous are here. Now they are, as he goes for the drive-by. He finds one before getting knocked by Gabru, but Bizzler able to get the flush onto Glock, and now Gabru, he's gonna try and throw the nade up and over towards Voxic as Luminosity try and return the nades towards him, not aware that he's already moved a little bit farther to the left. That looks like a good one, but it doesn't find any damage towards Bizzler.
Nice shots coming out of Gabrix. Oh, that might be a good Molotov on a Bixler. Nope, doesn't seem to have landed. Looked like a good throw. At least the direction was like spot on, but it seems to be the distance. Potentially Dangerous. Only down to their final 2 members, Tavon and Gabrix.
Mortars, where?
Here are the mortars. Right on a Luminosity coming out from Alcazia. Alcazia's putting these in. I'm surprised they're not getting any knocks or damage at all.
Gabru pushing forward.
Like
Wouldn't it be hilarious if he got punished for his push towards Luminosity? But no, doesn't look like it yet. That one landing close to both of them. Gabru is taking this time, and there's the knock with the mortar. Gabru finishes it off, but then he gets taken down by the mortar himself.
Yes, indeed. I thought they... Wait, is that all of them? Psycho getting out of the car, denying the point. I don't mind that.
He goes down on his own terms, as now Amigos and Empire are going to be fighting over here on the western side of the zone, both with 3 players up.
Wait. Pardon the metaphorical pun, but it is literally an uphill battle for Empire going into Amigos' spot, but Amigos going around the rock, so maybe not so much of a bigger deal, as XP is realistically the only one that's going to fight for the next few seconds.
And XP in a great spot, but he gets taken down by some great shots from Vapeskar, and he's going to want to have that one back. He's going to want to be able to be more prepared for that push, and now it's going to be Michael and Poonage. Poonage gets spotted out, does take 43 damage from one shot there. So I don't know if he doesn't have a vest or what's going on there, but that seemed like a lot of damage for a single bullet.
Indeed. Oh. Oh, we do see a potential third party coming out of Moo. For nothing. Come on, Moo. Moo. Come on.
Moo. Ever since I discovered that I can go moo, it's just become so much more entertaining to try and cheer for him. And I really, really hope that one of these games he pops off.
Indeed. And we saw quite a good showing from him yesterday at the tail end of one of the Miramar games. And that was actually quite entertaining. Oh, okay.
Okay. We've slowed down a little bit here, not as much going on, but we miss a Panzer from Finna, and he finds a second with the FAMAS before getting taken down by Sparking, and this is outside the blue zone. So Animaniac's not going to be able to get their players back up as Mugs are the last one remaining, and he's just up on the hillside already. So Finna is going to end up getting those 2 points from the blue zone.
Yeah. Moo is dead. But we see this fight coming out as Amix and Benyakami, Benya Kapani. Wow, I really struggled with that. Are the last two standing for Toyo. But we see Perillo with an M249 taking 2 out, but is taken out themselves as Dead End is now out as Mira VHZ. It takes out the final member of Dead End. Yeah, Mira LFP though, are they in a resible location? It looks like that's going to be the case. It fakes it and actually putting in a little bit of damage into Team Liquid, but ultimately gets knocked himself by Sparking. That QB use, it's really good. I think it's slept on, honestly. For a 5.56 DMR, it's so good.
Well, the reason it's slept on is because there's 10 less bullets in it. If it didn't have 10 less bullets, I feel like it wouldn't be slept on as much. As Team Liquid, Alcadzia, they trade a little bit. Purdy, he's currently knocked. Roth, gonna be going up and over the hillside, seeing if he can spot anything out. Cowboy in the center of the zone. So Alcadzia, they're gonna have pretty good positioning if they can get Rello back up on his feet.
Yeah, 10 bullets, no extended mag for it, which is rather unusual, especially in how late in the game it is. Because Alcadzia has quite a handful of kills, no? I think Team Liquid here at 6. Pretty tight.
And Mira, they also have 6 of their own, and they're going to be fighting Amigos here in a second. The shot's going out towards DNL. He survives on but a sliver. The Molotov goes forward. Does it find the knock? It does land on DNL, but I don't think it's going to do enough damage because he did... No, it does!
Oh, there it is.
He got the first aid off, and I wasn't sure if he was actually going to get the knock with it, but it does come through. VHC holding on the other side up against the 3-man of Team Liquid. He preps a nade. He throws it over towards Luke 12. Does a little bit of damage, and he is so blind from all of these stuns. LFP1, he's going to have to do some heavy lifting, but Sparking finds a double headshot, takes him down, and the shots in return not able to come through with a knock, but Cowboy finds a different angle.
Alright, we did just see that Alcadzia does have 4 kills, but Team Liquid looking real good with 7. 5th place, they're guaranteed for 5th place. So that would be what? 12 points as it sits right now if they were all to be eliminated in the coming seconds. But Alcadzia might hold them out. Alcadzia might hold them out as Mira's going to go down to Luke 12, so Toyo Esports now eliminated, but they're driving straight into Alcadzia, and we're probably within the sightlines of the Amigos, and now it's just Alo Flalo.
And just the amount that just happened in the kill feed. Alo finds a spot all the way over here to try and pull up Alcadzia. They have 1 knocked. Amigos have a player knocked, and they still have 2 players up. So it's just pandemonium that ensued as Team Liquid drove through there. We ended up with only 4 teams left. I don't know when the 5th team died and Mira became the 4th team, but they probably fell right afterwards. And we were down to 3 in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and we're coming up on the 25th minute of our game, and Alcadzia is looking way strong, both positionally and with the numbers. We have Amigos with 3, and that's plenty. And even Alo Flalo can do quite a lot of work, but even on foot, I think Alo should really go toward that northernmost crate. just do a very nice wide wrap. But Cowboys trying to sniff out that rotation.
The only problem with him going all the way towards that other drop is I think if Kadzia takes any knocks or anything, you really want to be able to just push forward right into them at that moment as nades come down and out. Roth finds a headshot onto Vapesker to get the knock, and now it's 12 IG and DNL, and Cowboy finds DNL, 12 IG, the last one left, and it's the blue zone right on top of him doing some damage.
Could
Down
very
he
well be the
goes.
end of the Amigos, and there it is. So now it's just down to Alo Flalo for Team Liquid. So that's second place guaranteed, and he's got an MK14. They're gonna use it as the AR mode or the DMR mode, but it's gonna have to go up against a Groza. Probably not ideal. There's an audio cue. He's not watching the right flank where Roth is, and I think he's about to get shot in the butt, but Roth isn't looking at him. And so instead, there's the shots that come out, and that's going to be it. Roth, I think, gets that final kill, actually, and that's going to be it. Alcadzia with the win with 9 kills, so that's 19 points, so that's going to shoot them up even further up the leaderboard, but Team Liquid probably going to surpass Luminosity. Luminosity was 14th place? Luminosity was 14th place, yeah.
But they did get a squad wipe. And again,
They did get a squad wipe,
Luminosity
yeah.
is at the top of the leaderboard, not necessarily because they've had the most amount of kills, or the most amount of placement points, but because they have an absolute crap ton of kills and they've been getting kills very, very consistently. So we'll have to see.
so
But Kadzia, beautiful there to mop that one up. Took care of the Amigos without taking a knock and able to finish off Alo.
I think they have just dropped to 3rd place, I think. If I'm doing my math right, I think Luminosity is now 3rd, Team Liquid 2nd, and Alcadzia now commanding in 1st. By a pretty significant lead, I think.
And we will just have to see in a second because we're going to go to a quick break. And you guys will get an updated leaderboard in just a second. Here we go. Match number 10. We are past our halfway point. We have 3 matches remaining after this one. We're going to be getting our way right into our wonderful, beautiful Miramars, but we got to get through this first. Can we see a hospital zone? Or maybe like I'd be okay with a fishing camp zone. I feel like I haven't really seen a fishing camp zone in a while.
All right. Should I just make a bold prediction? Should I go for that again?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
Let's
really
see.
feeling the energy today, so I don't think I'll be correct. But I think this will be like a fishing camp, palace, Hosan center-ish zone somewhere in there.
Okay.
I think that's where it's going to be.
I want to
That's
see a
just
hospital.
my guess.
South of hospital zone. That's what I want to see. One day, if I keep on asking for it, it'll happen.
It may very well happen indeed. Doesn't look like we're gonna have any shared compounds this time around, or cities. So no fights for the first few minutes or so. I think.
We get to sit here.
Oh no,
and
there is a
talk.
fight. It's 55 and potentially dangerous.
Oh, super close range. Not even a named compound, and here they are going for the fight. Sam Crow, he's made his way around. Oh my god, Tavon goes down to Psycho with the M16. Now the shot's trying to come out from Sam Crow. He's trying to find a different angle. He barely survives, but Gabru gets a knock and a flush onto Tiny. So 55 do end up fully losing the first player as Sam Crow goes for the spray, and it's Gabru. No, Glock to win that fight. And now it's Sam Crow, the last one left. He goes down to Gabru, and 55 eliminated. And I gotta say it. 55, that team name, it doesn't matter what players are on it. 55 as an organization should try and avoid hut drops because I feel like they lose them more often than they win them. Unfortunately for them.
Yeah, and that was certainly the case yesterday at Fairy Pier on the Erangel games. So I'm inclined to agree with you. I think they're hot drops. Even though this particular one wasn't a hot drop, I think sharing a drop has just not gone in their favor the last couple of days that I've had the pleasure of casting.
And
So-
I've casted 55. They had a different team at the time, and they also just weren't really winning their hot drops. So I don't know if the 55 name is cursed for hot drops or what. Because I've seen them win them sometimes too. So it's not like they don't. But I feel like they lose more often than they win, and that's not a good scenario.
Yeah, and that's certainly going to. Well, are they in relegation right now? No, they're not in danger of relegation despite all of that, but they're
Luckily
currently
enough.
5th place at 54 points.
Yeah. Luckily enough, relegation doesn't matter for this week because it is the last week of the series, which means all you need to do is get as high in the placement points as you can because that gives you more Smirzera League points. And if you get more Smirzera League points, you start higher going into the next series. It's an important note
Indeed.
for week 4.
Also of note, as I just refreshed my score, it's actually 55 esports is in 7th place, not 4th or 5th, excuse me. Yeah, all those 5s, they are messing with my head. But they are also of note, they are exactly 40 points behind Alcadzia in 1st at 94. That's quite the point jump. I mean, it's even quite the point jump between Amigos in 4th at 66 and Luminosity at 88, who is 3rd place.
Yeah. Our top 3 definitely run away a little bit, but if they have a bad game, nipping on the heels is definitely Amigos, who could jump up, but they need, like, solid games for the last 3, and all 3 teams at the top to just, like, fall apart. And I don't think that's super likely. Alcadzia, they are going back to their usual dominant self, which is very fun to see as Caspi Tong getting sprayed up by Rello. The knock does not come out, but they did get the knock onto Emmy from Toyo.
Yeah, and as we see, I think that's Adira as I'm reading that, is kind of backed away from the fight. I think that's a safety call, so in case the southernmost player for Toyo actually gets knocked, so they can retreat to the safety of the compound, as Kaspitan is trying to hold the line against DIY and the rest of Alcazia. Adira not really in a position, I think, that will be beneficial to help their squad in any way.
Yeah,
Let's move.
it's an interesting position, especially Toyo losing players so early. We've had one team down with 55, so no teams surviving super long here. And now it's going to be Dream 1 landing on the buildings right behind. Hansi lands there, tries to go for the shots out to Adira, and does end up getting the knock. So now Dream 1, they've stolen this position away. And in a little while, they might be able to just steal the vehicle that Adira had. And they have some wheels to work with on top of that.
Yeah, they might even still play that roof location and take out Kaspitan, as well as the Meeks. Maybe. They're currently in a spot that might be okay, but I don't think they should peek any one team. Toyo should just play it slow.
Yeah.
Dream 1 and Alcazia both know they're here, but Alcazia, I expect it will be the ones to leave this location first. Or okay. Toyo Esports, now leaving as Amix is 1 shot away from death. Okay, 2 shots apparently. 1 HP, but there it is. Cowboy taking the last 2 members of Toyo. Not Toyo Tires. This is not a sponsored thing and tires and by any means.
Accidental plug.
Yeah, that's just where my head lives. That's how I remember the name, Toyo Tires.
But now we see 2 teams down. We're at 55 alive, and we're not even at 10 minutes. What a difference compared to the last match that we just had.
It was a very strange circle indeed, and based on the zone, I think this is probably going to go across the river. So anyone south of the river currently is going to have to cross the bridge. So if any team that can hold that bridge away from these other teams, they're going to rack up a ton of kills. And I think Team Liquid might just be that team. They're leaving already. They're going to drive into not quite fishing camp, but potentially dangerous. Tavon only takes a single bullet worth of damage, but the rest of it going into the vehicle as it's already begun smoking as potentially dangerous. Now going to take the bridge from Team Liquid here. Oh, nice shot though. No knocks just yet. Sparking trying to get one as 1 Glock. Also receiving quite a bit of a bullet punishment. But yeah, potentially dangerous. Are they going to reconsolidate onto this rock? Are they going to hold the bridge away from Team Liquid? That's what I want to know.
I don't know if they're going to have the opportunity. That bridge, not exactly the most campable, as you can scout it pretty well from the other side. So it's hard to do a bridge camp there. Dead end. On the jump one, you can get a pretty good one going. There's a couple of places you can hide your vehicles to cause some mayhem to anyone that has to try and send it across. Systematicos looks like they've already sent one across, so they may be preparing for the rest of the players to come across, or they could just be waiting over there in case anyone tries to rotate that way late.
As we see Amigos coming in on their emergency chopper, so no wheels for them yet. I don't really see any on the ground. Oh, I do see one on the ground. So Amigos here on the very far right of your screen actually going to take up a Porter truck, and it looks like they have a... Is that an esports spawn bottom of their screen? It's a green
just
Dacia.
A regular Dacia. So they do have another one there as Anzira gets a knock onto Klausen, gets the flush, and they got Paradox as well, but Pirlo gets the trade. Anzira gonna get taken care of, and the rest of the Systematicos were thinking about going over here. Learn pulling up a little bit to try and get ready for this. He's gonna stop just short. Try and look towards them. The nade goes out towards Lawson, but he's able to drive right by Ribeiro, the last one, as Learn goes down from Moo, and straight through the Molotov goes Ribeiro.
Yeah, 4-0. I think it's taken that compound just north of these 2 teams' locations, so that they might be able to clean up whoever survives this fight. But I think it might be a little bit of a harder battle if Systematicals wins. Because I think Dead End is, I don't know.
They've
Now
run
that
into a
I'm
little bit
saying
of
it
a
out
dead
loud,
end.
I'm not so sure anymore.
No, dead end. They've run into a little bit of a dead end as 4-0 is pushing forward. MHP goes down to Lawson, and now there's only one player remaining. And 4-0, they've moved so much closer with the ridge lines that Pirlo doesn't have a lot to work with. Ribeiro going to be trying to go for the res on to learn. Pirlo goes for the shots, but it's Flavin from behind, able to finish him off. Dior trying to run right over here, trying to get the nade up and over towards Learn. He knows where the knock is. It's whether the nades will be able to land past all of the cover. Doesn't look like it yet. He needs it to go a little bit farther, bounce a little bit higher, but he's not able to get it. Lawson on the other side of the road, going to be the one that has to try and give all the covering fire for Learn and Ribeiro.
Yeah, indeed, Javid is actually putting some damage onto the bridge as Ribeiro. It's still currently on there, but it looks like they're hopping off the south side of the bridge to go for a swim, which should save them. Yes, but that even puts a little bit more strain onto Lost because now it's truly alone as they swim up to the shoreline to even climb up the cliff to go for the assist. Even though,
see how they play it, but 4-0. They're in a pretty good spot. They only have 1 kill so far. Overall, on the leaderboard, they're down in 14th place. They have a few more placement points than Animaniacs, and it's the only reason they are above them is they're both tied with 24 points.
Systematicals, though, look like they might make it out alive as Lost is actually caught in between Moo and Dios versus you. Oh, good bit of grenade damage, but not enough to really matter as Learn chucks another one. Doesn't secure any damage, but receives plenty. Now Learn and Ribeiro now in the same location. Oh no, you hop down to what I would only assume is your death as Ribeiro's gonna come up and see you for free. And there it is. DR versus you is now down. Learn might just take this opportunity to move up as they see Flavin right there prone on the ground. Javid returning a knock onto Ribeiro, and now it's just down to Learn.
Learn versus Moo
coming in. Come on, Moo.
Wins it.
Moo.
Can you clutch it up? The stun goes out. As Lawson, he gets flushed out. Dior right in front of Learn. So even if Moo can win it, it's going to be difficult. And now the flush comes out onto Flavin. And now it really is Moo, the last one left. Ribeiro going to start taking some damage from the blue zone here, as this has become a blue zone fight. Who's going to be able to come out on top? Moo. He's trying to rotate around, find a different angle, and this could be great timing for him to spot out the res, and he does. He's going for the spray, not able to get too much damage onto Learn, and he goes down as Learn hits the headshot. Moo is gone.
That's rather unfortunate, but what might even be more unfortunate is Team Liquid coming in to see who's left, and it's going to be Learn. As Ribeiro, I believe, dies to the zone, which would go to the credit of Moo.
Punage, where do you
and the rest
land
of
here?
Gonna dive straight into pure Penta, sees this and takes Punage out, despite no audio. But that's gonna be Punage and the glider play. As predicted, if you got a glider, you're likely to just get shot by everybody who sees you.
And Liquid, they are aware of Learn. They know what's going on. Del Musai, I appreciate the follow. We love the Moo in your name. As Mira gonna be holding off against both, it looks like Amigos and now Empire as well, who get a little bit of damage as they drive by. XP takes some in return, but Mira, they're able to hold their position, potentially dangerous. Going for the sprays as people try and get down here. Amigos eliminated by Mira. Glock has been knocked, and now some flush nades trying to come out from Luminosity. Pure RNG looking over towards this in case they can mop up any points.
I don't think they'll be leaving their compound anytime soon, as even their closest squad, which is Luminosity, is actually not totally close enough to actually push on foot. It would have to be a car push if they secure a knock, because I don't even think they're in throwable distance where they are. Meanwhile, in check here on the southwest side, putting some damage into the Animaniacs, but actually received some. Andrew to the chest on 3 vest. Not the worst thing to happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be fine. Animaniacs, they're right on the edge of zone. Dream 1 with a dream position. Luminosity right on the edge of the city. If this ends up pulling down to the south at all, maybe even a little bit southeast, then Dream 1 going to be able to farm every single team as they try and leave the city.
Yeah, but I think I'm just observing the map for what little I could see of it. I think Animaniacs has a lot of free reign and freedom to move around at the moment. I mean, the zone is about to finish, so we'll see if that actually holds true in just a moment. Yeah, I think they're going to have free reign going into the next zone. There's realistically no one there but Roth to hold them out. And Roth is leaving.
Yeah, so now they have something. Oh, Speed takes a lot of damage, and that fence that's supposed to be breakable just absolutely denies Empire. As Michael, he's able to make it a little bit further forward. Hopefully, Shinboy and XP able to make it over there in a little while after they make sure their back is safe. Pure RNG handling Mira on their push forward. VHG taken down from the side by Penta. 2 down already for Mira.
As expected, Mira just Pure holding their spot pretty well. LFP, though, is just 1 shot away. Cooks a nade, throws it, and actually secures a knock. LFP gets the Penta, as Mira actually also takes out 1 more member of Pure, as a creator code is eliminated. Penta now knocked. Finna and Valiate, the 2 left standing. Gonna go for the flush point. Might even go for the res.
Yeah, he should definitely go for the res. Fauna a little bit farther away. Get this back up into a 3v2, as it looks like Fauna going to be going for the res onto Fakeson, but potentially dangerous. They're moving up on the back side of this, so it might be Gabru, the beneficiary of this, to pick up a couple of kills on to Mira, but he spotted out a blue zone grenade and he's looting that instead. Zera gets the knock onto Mugzer and Animaniacs. They're down to a 2-man, as it looks like In Check have just decided that this is a position that they want to try and fight for. Andrew takes down Plents, and it's General has the last one left. The nade being prepped by Selfish. The nade's going forward. They go a little bit far, but the spray through the smoke from Andrew is able to find it, and down goes Animaniacs.
Yeah. Alcadzia, though, still has actually quite a lot of territory on the south side, as they're going to try to maybe take this fight into in check. So it's Cowboy and Roth, but Cowboy gets knocked from Andrew TD. But Roth also gets a knock on his Zavini, but also takes a beating from Selfish and goes down himself. So this 2v4 did not work in favor of Alcadzia. So the question is who comes in for the save?
TIY, he's the last one left for Alcadzia over here in this position right now. He is going to try and get the res on Cowboy. It looks like Roth going to be left behind as Cowboy goes down. DIY gets out of there and just tries to make his way back. The vehicle going to blow up. He's going to get out of it. Make it back into my least favorite compound on this map.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Team Liquid here on the east side, hearing the commotion go down, especially this car blowing up for Alcadzia, might see if they can even clean up a little bit again. Try to see if they get 1 more point. Relo taking quite the hits from Luke 12. Is forced for the med. The nade is thrown. I think it's gonna come up short, but only barely though.
Bounces on the wrong side of the rock a little bit farther, or maybe even the right bounce off the right spot on the rock, and Relo could have been going down here, so he's just going to book it and try and maybe regroup with his teammate, get in a spot where he might be able to help. But no, it's Vinny from the other hillside to find him. Dream One, they're going to be in a good spot when all the teams have to leave the city. Like I said earlier, Team Liquid, they're going to be making their way around trying to find this last member for Alcadzia, try and secure their position over here.
DIY not looking too hot. Has no vehicle, stuck between Team Liquid and In Check. It's gonna be very hard pressed to leave. Meanwhile, Pure is down to just 2 of their members, as Empire's coming in on their north side, as well as potentially Dangerous getting shot in the back. XP taking out Tavon. Gabrick is with the FAMAS. Takes a 1. Go for a second knock. No! XP from Empire takes them out. That's gonna be it.
How does XP end up winning that fight there? What a headshot. What timing. I thought he was out of bullets. I thought he was going to be done for, but he's able to hit the headshot, get the finish onto Gabru, and potentially Dangerous eliminated. 1 player left for Empire, as In Check up on the hillside have so many sight lines down onto these teams trying to cross through the farm fields.
Fida is just looking for Michael across the street. Yeah, it does come out. Michael just chunking that zone. It is phase 5 at the moment. Oh, no, Voxic. Voxic actually takes the last bit of damage. As Luminosity Gaming now actually going for the reconsolidation here on the fields. Like, what are those, like hay bales, solar panel roof things? I'm not really sure.
I think they're just like little farm tent things to protect your crops. Yeah.
Nice shot from Hansi though, knocking out Voxic on this rotation. Is Finna is still out in the zone, has plenty of meds apparently to take it. Meanwhile, DIY for Alcadzia still being kind of held between Team Liquid Sparking and Zavini from In Check.
And if he makes it out of that position,
Oh,
I was going to say that'd be crazy, but Vinny just absolutely annihilates him, and down he goes. Now Vinny's, he's going to try and make it forward towards those drops, towards Team Liquid and Dream One. They are pretty much the only team that actually has their entire team inside the zone, as Gaps finds Finna, Pure RNG down in 6th, but Zvinny does take a knock going towards the crates. Maybe got a little bit greedy there. Maybe he didn't realize that there was a team up on the other hillside.
And not just any team, it's Team Liquid. It's Sparking actually sees that rotation, so it must have been spotted somehow quite easily on the south end. Luke 12 putting some damage into that rescue vehicle. No knock though. Dream One might capitalize on this fight with Team Liquid, but I think pretty Curdy. Oh, Luke 12 actually in the crosshairs of Jibs. No knock. Halo Flow here on the left. Oh, friendly fire a little bit onto Peak. Only a single hit though.
Yeah, I mean,
Meanwhile,
it wasn't anything crazy. Luckily, on that northern side though, Learn slowly sneaking in there for Systematicos. Could cause some problems for Dream One later on, as that's a good shot from Selfish in return onto Sparking, gonna make him back off a little bit. And Team Liquid, I feel like they have a little bit less to work with on the ridges here compared to In Check.
I think I agree to. Well, actually, now that I think it's actually about the same. It seems to be like a very wide sweeping bowl. Or valley, if you, I guess, is probably the better word. As In Check and Team Liquid kind of have to share it. I think there's a slight uphill advantage for In Check, but I don't think it's enough to truly matter.
It looks like this is just going to be a straight up 4v4 isolated fight. So who is going to be able to take this team fight, as it looks like Zero. He was almost the first to go down, but he's able to return some beautiful shots onto Luke 12, and he's prepping it towards that nade, but Zero, he just continues to push forward, ready for the fight. Smirzera gets a knock with a nade, but so doesn't Purdy. A nade goes to each side. Selfish gets the knock onto Purdy, and it's into a 3v2. And check, they have 10 kills so far. Luke 12 takes down Andrew. Now he continues for more, but Selfish able to take him down, and there goes Sparking in check. Takes down Team Liquid.
Luminosity, though, hearing what's been going down and probably paying attention to the kill feed, is going to try to capitalize as much as possible onto the remaining member of In Check. And Selfish, 46 HP, going for the heal. It's receiving all of the utility coming out of Luminosity Gaming. So there's the flush one. Gats with one. Andrew TD is down. And that's going to be it. In Check is now eliminated by Luminosity. So that's probably going to put them up on the leaderboard a little bit higher now. It's 7 kills, even though In Check actually had, what, 14 right there at the end?
Yeah,
it's going to be a good hefty bit of points, but I don't know if they're going to catch anywhere close to even just Luminosity.
Dream 1 has so much control over this next zone. Luminosity are going to be kind of hard-pressed to find a spot inside the zone. Meanwhile, Learn has crept his way in, completely unbeknownst to Dream 1.
I suppose we might see a little bit of an upset potentially, as Hansy's kind of... I think Hansy's in a lot of trouble. They don't know it yet, but Hansy's in a lot of trouble. But they're just playing the role as the scout. As Flamescare trying to take out Bizzler. And I think if Dream 1 can finish the game over Luminosity, that's going to set them up and maybe even take them out of relegation rank, because they are the bottom of our leaderboard right now.
You say a lot of trouble, but he already takes one down from Luminosity, and now he's ready for more. Hansy finds another one onto Bizzler, and he takes down Snakers to follow. So Hansy was not in any sort of trouble as he takes down Luminosity. I'm
not in trouble. I am the trouble. That's probably what he would say.
Denies it. Now it's all up to Learn. What is he gonna do?
Deny the point. I expect that to happen here in the next minute or so.
I don't think it's worth it. They're both at the bottom.
I think in
a
scenario like this.
No, Learn is at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
you're
right.
Leaderboard.
You're right.
You
are correct.
There's nothing to lose. Dream 1 was in the last place position. Go for the fight. I mean, worst comes to worst, he just dies and they get one more point. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I think he would be very hard pressed to take the game away from Dream 1. And even though it's not a true -1 point for, just eliminating themselves, it's one less point that Dream 1 can have over them.
You imagine they implemented a rule where if you kill yourself or go down to blue zone on purpose, you get -1 point.
That would be something. I suppose I would certainly change up some things, especially if you. I think it would probably be received negatively, especially because there's a lot of self knocks too.
Right.
Flamescare.
I'm not saying
like
accidentally knocking yourself or like accidentally running over like a teammate or anything like that. Those don't count as -1s. I'm talking about like in the end game, purposely running out into the blue zone to deny.
I see. I think Hansy's trying to bait out shots. Learn. It does hear this. Peeks in with a stun. I think he heard a single footstep. Does get that stun in. Gets in, sees the player, and that's going to be it. Learn taken out. So that is a +1 point for Dream 1, which with 10 points, well, I mean, I forget about the placement points. Should actually beat Systematicos, I would think. But yeah, In Check though, 14 kills. Holy moly. But 4th place. That's what, 19 points for them?
It's still a good game no matter what. But Dream 1, they're able to win it with 6 kills. Systematicos making their way all the way to second place, and they had 7 kills themselves. So those 3 teams, maybe a little bit lower on our leaderboard, but they all had a really good match there. And it might shake up the way our leaderboard looks a good little chunk. And that's super important going into the last 2 matches of today.
Oh yeah.
Every single placement point matters in this final day.
Yes, it does. And if you can get out of relegation, so at the current moment, it's Dream 1 Animaniacs 4-0 and Systematicos in the relegation slots. So Dream 1 may have just moved out of that just barely and might have pushed Pure RNG into that spot. I don't think that's the case, but it's possible. But Systematicos, despite being second place, I think they're still going to be there because I don't think they have 7 kills, so that would put them 35. I suppose we'll see the updated scores here
We'll see it
after the
soon.
break. Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, let's go ahead and toss it to break. Yeah.
Absolutely. Have a good break.
All right. See you in game 5. And we're back. As you saw from the Geico commercial, I'm just kidding. we're back from the break. No Geico commercial, no plug here.
I keep on
Screw
forgetting to
insurance.
run commercials overall in between matches. So
One
there's
of which
like
may have
no
been
pre-roll
Geico.
ads being blocked. So anyone that's like going back and forth is just getting pre-roll ads every time. I feel bad.
Yeah. Well, no Geico ad because there was no commercial break. So, whatever. As we can see, 55 and potentially dangerous going Fairy Pier once again. And, well, at least from my perspective, it has not gone so well for them. But I've only saw the 2 games from yesterday. So, they're all really tight between each other. But potentially dangerous, I think, is actually split.
We'll see. Can 55 finally take one of these fights, or are they gonna go down? We don't have any audio. It looks like Slabby actually was able to punch one of the players down. Karak being rezzed by Psycho. The nade goes forward, doesn't do any damage, even though it looked like it made it right in there. Gabru goes down to Tiny, flushed out by Sam Crow. Potentially dangerous. They're down 2 players.
Maybe they heard us in the cast and was like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna step it up this time."
Step it up they have.
Yeah, Tavon and Glock, the only 2 left, and Glock isn't even running around looting and is basically naked. This is not the scenario you want to be because every second that you don't hunt down 55 is more chance for them to outloot you.
And they'll have plenty more meds and everything to work with, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Karak is still almost dead. He doesn't even have a gun. So if they can try and make it forward now, now he picks up a gun. If they could have made it forward then, they would have still just been fighting a 2v2. Just so long Sam Crow didn't have an angle.
Yeah, well, I'm more curious on who's going to fight who first. Tavon, I think, has the audio of 55, and I think they know that he's in here. So the shotgun is pulled out. So he does have 2 close-range weapons. Actually, probably the best you can hope for. Okay, Psycho gonna throw a grenade in. Tavon just gonna hop into the bathroom, onto the bathroom sink. Just gonna hold the doorway, and while it's gonna protect you from explosives, it won't protect you from the blue zone grenade, which I don't think 55 has one. But if they did, that would be the prime time to use it.
Tiny, he's making his way over here too. He might have a nade that he can try and throw in here. Nidavon. I mean, if they know about this spot, then they can try and get the nade right in there, and they do. And it does end up getting the knock. Beautiful nade. Beautiful play there from them, and now Glock is the last one left, and they have a good idea of where he is. I'm sure Sam Crow has been able to spot him out a little bit. Psycho finishes off Tavon with the pistol.
Something you don't see a whole lot in esports is handguns. See the whole lot of them, but it's nice to see, even though we probably won't see it the rest of the game. It's still kind of fun to see. Glock gonna hold the bathroom. There's S12, but no, has shotgunned himself. Psycho with the double barrel, taking out potentially dangerous at 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Honestly, Glock there went to try and like strafe back into the bathroom, and it honestly might have just put his gun straight up into the air. If he had just committed and full wide peeked it, he may have been able to actually get that knock onto the second player. The question would have been, is the third one going to cause you more problems?
That's certainly a question. We do see a Paradox here trying to maybe see if they can find anything to scrounge up for from 55s, but I don't think that's going to do anything. But a nasty hit received from Animaniacs. Halo Flow, 27 HP. Receives a headshot from, I believe that was Plent. Could have also been Ghost Star General. But yeah, Team Liquid now going deep into the man caves. Or the tunnels. The bunker.
Good thing for Alo here is, with the tunnels being there, he should be able to find himself a new helmet to work with. but they might run right into the Animaniacs, and that could be a big problem. It doesn't look like anything really is going to happen with it, as mugs are much farther away from the rest of the Animaniacs over at the trophy room.
And then we jump down to Pure RNG as creator code Senka actually sees Roth SPS for Alcadzia just above the prison. Hey. DIY though, actually a little bit closer. Creator code with a throw. I don't think that's gonna bounce well, I mean, it didn't really bounce really at all. DIY though, with only 2 first aids, does get the heal off. And Roth just trying to keep Creator Code away, and Creator Code now just leaving with their vehicle to reconsolidate with the rest of the team to the northeast.
Bye. And now we get a really good look at this circle. Just a good chunk of water, but it's not one of the craziest we've seen. I mean, we've obviously seen some zones where it's been mostly water on that first phase. So they should be able to play this plenty fine. Poonage getting chased a little buy-in check, but it looks like they are going to start continuing their rotate, and Empire might be going a little bit further north overall than they may have originally planned.
As we can see, Animaniacs are trying to keep Team Liquid in the bunker, but I don't think it's going to... I don't think that's really a viable way, because there's 4 entrances, and you can... While you can put a man at each exit, it's just not going to be a good fight. It's going to be a 1v4 in that scenario. So I think the best move for Animaniacs right now is actually just leave. You can't really push Team Liquid in the tunnels. You can't hold them at the entrances. There's no real effective way to fight Team Liquid in this scenario. So Animaniacs should leave. They really should.
I think they might just keep a 2-2 split going for a little while longer, though. They might want to see if this is going to go down to the south or if it's going to go up to the north. Because if it does pull down to the south, having having the shelter area is a little bit easier to try and play with than having the trophy room. So they may be just waiting for the zone to fold before they really decide where they want to go.
I suppose we'll see, but we already see some shots going in between Animaniacs and Team Liquid on the north side, I believe is what I saw before we swapped cameras. Luminosity Gaming, though, taking... What do you call this compound? I call it Heaven or Jump House.
It's Heaven. It's Heaven.
Yeah, I've heard so many different names for this.
No,
I've even heard it being called Half Pipe before.
It's Heaven. It's being crash baited. HVIC gonna come in here, get annihilated by Gats, and the rest of 4-0 gonna be like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna be happening. And it's a beautiful crash bait by Luminosity. I don't know if they came in here via e-pickup, and that's why they don't have any vehicles over here. But if they did, they executed it perfectly and picked themselves up a good vehicle to use.
Yes, as we see some more shots going into 4-0's direction, but 55. What are you doing? I mean, you're being held out by Dead End, kinda, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think they've gotten a vehicle yet.
They should have.
Yeah, but I just don't think they do. I don't think they have a vehicle, and I think Tiny is gonna roll right up to Paradox and Pirlo and just get taken out.
Why isn't Dead End leaving though? That's another question.
They are here specifically to camp 55.
Tiny swapping to the barrel.
100%.
About to lose a jammer bag. Gonna walk straight into Paradox, and that's good. Oh, I thought for a second Tiny actually won that fight. I was like, there's no way.
What do you think Tiny is saying right now?
Yeah, I imagine there was a small little girl scream for half a second, followed by a WTF.
Yeah. Okay.
and then a GG.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine that? It's a high-pitched squeal. You know?
Yeah, I think I could imagine it, probably. Oh, good shots there by Cowboy to take down Purdy. Now, Kadzia, they are trying to confirm themselves above Team Liquid as we had Luminosity jump back up into first place. So we have had, what, like 4 or 5 swaps? 4 swaps already for first place, I feel like. Maybe only 3. So far in this one as DIY with a good couple of sprays. And it continues doing so much damage towards Team Liquid.
Pretty Curdy now being flushed by DIY. So that brings it down to a 4v3 in favor of Alcazia. Now it's a 4v2. Elo Flalo is now knocked, and the nades coming out. There's Roth with the finish. And they are just coming out with an explosive finish. Luke 12 now knocked as well. So now it's just down to Sparking, who's kind of crouched, not going for the heal, and that's going to be it. Roth taking the final member out. Team Liquid now eliminated. 15th place. So that might put them down on leader. Well, no, I don't think.
I
so,
think
actually.
that just means that they're going to go into the last match in 3rd place. That's all it means.
I think so too.
Which would be their worst finish of the series so far, if they end up finishing in 3rd place. Which would be unfortunate for them, because saying that you got 1st and 2nd place 4 weeks in a row is a very impressive thing to say.
That said, they could absolutely dominate our final match of the night and just shoot straight back up to the top as they did yesterday, going in from the lower half of the leaderboard in game 5 to 2nd, I believe. It's actually where they went, and then 1st later in the games today.
We're just gonna have to wait and see, as someone has a Bolty. And Bolty's not used a lot. Super entertaining to see some headshots go flying about. But Empire, they lose at least 1. I think they may have lost 2. And that's unfortunate for them, because they're in 7th place overall in the leaderboard, and they very much can fight, I'd say, all the way up into 4th place if they have a good couple of matches. And again, it's just Empire trying to survive with 4 into the late game that I don't see a lot. I see them get a lot of placement points, and I see them surviving, but it's not as a full format.
Indeed. Meanwhile, the zone actually goes toward the north side, favoring Lebovka, but I think whatever purple team is there in the center, I didn't quite get the name, there in the center of our current zone, I think they control the most territory now.
I believe it's in check. Yeah,
Yeah, that is in check.
The only
Yep.
purple team I believe we have in this one.
So yeah, in check. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So in check controls the most territory in the current zone, but they are kind of a little thin, so I would expect them to bunch up just that little bit more. I would sacrifice just a small bit of their territory, but I don't think it's going to be enough for any other team to really take anything meaningful, as Pure RNG has probably the best compound to have right now.
Yeah, and they are not gonna let go of that at all. They are gonna keep that in their grasp. Alcadzia, they're gonna be trying to find a spot where they can play. Roth already been left behind a little bit on his bike. He is at a shack, so we're gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to get back on that and regroup with the rest of his team, or if he's gonna have to try and play this match out as a solo on that shack.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see the fight going on down here in Small Power between Mira and Systematicos. Oh no, that's Dead End, excuse me. There we go. Cameraman heard me, that's amazing. Yeah, so
You
just I knew. MPA, all right, MHP died to the zone, probably got tickled enough in damage, and then just that little bit from the zone knocks them out of the car. As Dead End is now moving in, as Ribeiro's trying to get another land, because it's almost a guaranteed knock. It's one shot between two players. two remaining players left for Dead End. Systematico, though, it's going to drive straight into Dream 1, who is holding the edge, the whole south edge. They're doing a 2-2 split, so there's no chance they're going to get across and going north for free.
Yeah, but Dead End, they make it up onto the hillside. They survive for a little while longer. And while they were driving, when MHP got knocked to the blue zone, I'm pretty sure I saw Pirlo team flush to try and make sure that Systematicos wasn't going to be able to get the point off of the flush.
I don't think that works. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think that works.
No, because he went down to the blue zone.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. You're right.
So he would have had to get flushed by Systematicos, so Pirlo tried to do some more damage to him to try and make sure he either went down to Pirlo's bullets or to the blue zone instead of getting flushed out by a different team.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Meanwhile, here on the west side of prison, we had 4-0. Kind of just barely getting that res against the Animaniacs. Meanwhile, Dream 1. You're stopping? I mean, I suppose if you can afford to, sure, but you're gonna have to drive into Karak for 55. As Amigo's also moving in, might try to fight 4-0 and Animaniacs, as 4-0 actually manages to drop into the prison compound, but they're going to be very hard pressed to leave with Amigos on the cliffs just above them. I could see everything. So let's hope that they can leave first. Michael, though, with a nade from Empire.
And unfortunately, the nade just barely missing. He needs to get it a little bit closer, but he goes down to Sam Crow. And his nade's just not doing enough XP further towards Lipovka. Now, Alcadzia, they've been able to regroup, and now their nades are going to go forward. Sam Crow goes down low, even lower with the second, but he still survives. He's got some sort of anti-explosion vest on there, clearly, as he just took 5 grenades and did not go down.
Yeah, and I think if you're Alcadzia, I think it's very wise for you to withdraw and save what's left of your utility. Meanwhile, Dream 1 going in for the easternmost shoreline. I think that's a wise call. You can break the line of sight from Karak from 55. But I think Karak's due to be crashed by any team, potentially.
Yeah, and even if he does go down, he does have his other 2 teammates in a spot where maybe they can get a return knock or cause some more problems, as Sam Crow, going for some long shots towards Flameskirt, is able to connect with a couple.
Animaniacs, though, losing 1 member to the Amigos on top of these cliffs is 4-0 is also trying to leave the prison, so there's the fight that comes out as Dior's versus you. Go, that's a good nade. No knock? That was like right above him.
How does that do so little damage for the spot where it ended up? I mean, unless we just got a bad angle view of it, that nade looked perfect.
I know that there's like a code in the game somewhere that, you know, adjusts damage based on what stance you're adopting. So standing and crouch has like a reduced damage if you're crouched. Prone, I think, really maximizes it, even if it detonates over your body, so to speak, as if you were standing. So maybe that's just one of those like game mastery knowledge things.
Could be. In the end, it was 4-0 getting eliminated by the team that was just staring down on them with the nades anyways.
Yeah, we see Ribeiro for Systematicos just chunking hard, trying to get inside. Meanwhile, Sam Crow does knock Andreza. Ribeiro going for the heal. Can you maybe toss a smoke as well, or is that just not going to be the thing as Karak tosses a Molotov as well? Animaniac's still in there, actually. H11. H11's still kind of kicking over there at prison, so it was 4-0. That would be eliminated. Just a small correction.
Yeah,
Karak, though.
He's trying to sneak his way over here. He wants to try and get the finish onto Systematicos. He spots out the vehicles. He knows where the reses are going to be happening, but he doesn't have any offensive util to use towards it. And his teammate's going to be fighting up against Dream 1. And he's not going to be able to help if he wants to try and take down Systematicos, even if he can see Dream 1, because then his position going to be known. Handsy with a good nade onto Psycho. Meanwhile, more nades coming out through. Ribeiro gets the knock onto Crack anyways. So now it's all down to Sam Crow, and that nade just not able to kill him. I swear, Sam Crow just refuses to go down to an explosion in this match.
Sam Crow packed a flax vest in their luggage. Probably. We'll see. Dream 1, though, just barely next to them. Down one member as well. Who got them? Amigos trying to drive into Systematicos. But yeah, Vapeskir. I can't follow this kill feed. I think Amigos lost one.
In check goes down to Alcadzia, and now it's going to be Luminosity fighting up against Alcadzia. Snakers gets a couple of shots over there, and Toyo is getting a third party into this. Luminosity, they do lose one, but I didn't see it in the kill feed. No, Bizzler disconnected. He's still alive. We just don't get to see him. He's got an incognito mode.
Crash. Yeah, Luminosity, though. Now it's a 3v2 with 2 more at range for cover fire. It's kind of a great position for Toyo, actually. They're not visible to anyone south of them or even to their west, because they are the west team. So yeah, Luminosity Gaming actually going to be caught out between Toyo and Alcadzia.
Now more nades coming through from Voxic, not able to find anything. But Snakers and Gats combine to get a knock on each side. Caspitan gets one, but he's almost down, and there he goes as Snakers has an MP5. Cause more damage, and Bizzler did end up getting spotted out in the middle of that fight. And then goes down. Benya, he's going to make his way forward while Alcadzia pushes the other side of the hill. So if Benya goes up over here and maybe tries to turn around, no, it looks like he's just going to keep on going. But if he had tried to turn, it would have been straight into Alcadzia.
Yeah, Alcadzia capitalizing on the remnants of this fight, just throwing their utility into these smokes. Voxic is probably going to die, not going to be revived. DIY, though, knocking out Gats and a flush, and it's just down to Snakers at this rock, and they're not even at 75 HP, so they are probably going to lose a spray fight, and that's going to be it for Luminosity Gaming.
Here we go. What is going to happen? Snakers finds one, and he goes for the flush. He does get the flush before DIY can get over there and finish him off, and we are down to 4 teams. Pure RNG, Alcadzia 55, and Animaniacs. So Toyo was not able to survive their rotate through with their last remaining player. H11 Jr. looks like he's going to be in a difficult spot, but he does pick up a 1 before he disappears from this match.
How is 55 still kicking? I mean, Sam Crow, MVP this game, easy. Bringing the flak jacket, surviving all the nades, and despite all of that, 3rd place. Managing to keep Psycho alive as well. Rello kind of looking around, takes a couple hits to the face. No knock, though. But, gets knocked himself. As DIY with a nasty spray. I think that's like a 150-ish meter spray, too. So, great set. Psycho gonna
absolutely have to beautiful, and as much as he brought the flak vests, unfortunately, it's not going to do anything if he doesn't bring a 3 helmet alongside to block out the headshots that come forward. Psycho, he's going to try and regroup, go to a different spot. Sam Crow, there he goes. Psycho trying to return some fire with the mini on to Alcadzia. 12 kills.
Psycho with 1 shot away from death, and I think it's ultimately going to come down from Pure RNG versus Alcadzia. Which, in terms of the score, Pure RNG is in the lower half of the bracket. The leaderboard. Currently in 12th place. So, they have placement points. They have 6 guaranteed placement. on top of their two kills. So that's 8 points right now, most likely.
And
But who
Finna,
knows?
he has that moist nugget in his hands. And it's gonna be pure RNG with at least one bolty. And then over on the other side, Roth, he has an obviously. Oh my god, what a shot from Finna!
Way to end the game for 55. So now it's just pure RNG versus Alcadzia. DIY putting some shots into Pentalaw's direction, but I don't know if he actually saw him.
Holy, alright. 3v3 Alcadzia, they have to make their way forward. My whole question here is, which bolty is gonna come out on top? The Moist Nugget or the One of them has to win.
Put a poll in the chat. What does chat say?
Moist Nugget or which side are you guys on? Obviously, we know the is a little bit more powerful, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna hit the shots.
Yeah, that comes down to the player. You are absolutely right. As Roth is just trying to find a head to pop. But yeah, pure RNG, Valiate, and Pentalol, kind of still in their compound. I think they could have probably afforded to move up sooner. But even despite all of that, Alcadzia is still outside the zone, and they are not taking anything forward. Pentalol, though, still on the roof. I thought he hopped in the car as well. Maybe that was just a bait drive away, as now Valiate's going to actually go back. Probably going to go for the pickup.
Oh, Finna, Roth, Bolty v Bolty. No, Penta, leave it alone. Roth, he goes down. The not going to be winning any sort of fight if the player is knocked.
Okay, Pentalon does finally get off the roof. Valiant not looking at DIY at all. Here, just slightly further to the left. Probably going to hop back into the vehicle here into a couple seconds. Oh, Valiant's going to go around the south side of the hill, maybe cross the street where Finna once did. Meanwhile, Finna actually pushed a little bit deeper into the center part of the zone. Is actually the target of Rello, but Rello has 3 targets at this rock. He's got to isolate just that little bit more.
DIY, he's a little bit farther back. The Molotov goes forward towards Finna. Now the spray coming out, and it looks like both bolties aren't going to amount to anything as both players with them end up going down. Penta getting sprayed down by DIY, who has had some monster sprays so far in this one.
Yeah, but not a whole lot of ammo left. Only 60 bullets for that AUG. As Rello doing a little bit better off. Oh, 4x spray. Penta just breaking tree line with no gun whatsoever. I'm not sure what the plan was there, but Valiate, I think you just need to leave. Deny them the point. I mean, not that it really matters.
It's a 1v2. I think it's winnable. If it's a 1v3, 1v4, I get what you're saying there. Deny the point. Oh, Valiate, he takes a headshot there, though. That's going to be a tough one. But this is just a straight up 1v2. I think it's winnable if they end up giving you the 1v1s. But they are staying pretty stacked, making it difficult. So Rello, he spots him out. He's going to go for the spray. Only connects with a single bullet. DIY, he's ready for it. Oh, a nade found by Rello. He's going to prep it. He's gonna throw it forward, and it's not gonna find the damage. The 4x spray, not able to find it, and the nade from DIY is what finishes it. Alcadzia, 15 kills, and the chicken dinner in match number 11.
Yeah, that's a hefty 25 points, which will set them very firmly in the lead. Over Luminosity Gaming, who only scored, well, that's 5 kills plus the 5, and that's 3 points in 5th place, I think. So that's 8 points for them. So yeah, they'll be leading by about 20, almost 20 points, not quite. So that's actually going to secure probably the 1st place spot for the night.
We'll have
if they
to
can hold their
see.
act together.
I mean, if they go down early, if they get into another team fight with Team Liquid and it goes the other way, early in the match, again, though, it could
Mhm.
change around quite a bit, and it could be what do Luminosity and Liquid bring to the match? How are they going to be able to control their fates? Maybe we see some craziness. No matter what, it is going to be the last match that we get into for this week, and that means we might see some people do some crazy things. Last match shenanigans in the Americas can always be pretty interesting.
The 0 cares given game? Oh, that would be something. Everybody gets a glider. You get a glider. You get a glider. That would be really, really fun.
But we're going to go to a quick break, and we will just have to wait and see what happens.
All right, cue me in. I'll take it.
5.
And we're back. We're getting right into the action as Potentially Dangerous versus 55 Esports here in Ferry Pier. Don't have any sound. Okay, there it is. Handgun comes out, Tiny with the first kill. A DP, and that's it. Potentially Dangerous eliminated within the first minute and 25 seconds of the game going. So that is the end of the day for them. And just to let's see, potentially dangerous. Where are they at? They're 9th place last I checked. This is the updated score. So yeah, 9th place at 57 points. So that might even make them drop even further down the leaderboard, because they dropped 3 slots after this last game.
Yeah,
Because they were eliminated early last time.
Yeah, especially with how In Check played in the last match as well, being the team that's behind them by 7 points. If In Check has a bad game, then they're going to stay fine. But we've also seen In Check have some really good games, so they could easily surpass them.
Yeah, I mean, Luminosity Gaming, though. Oh, look at that. Getting some cars going to Yasnaya. I didn't even look at the zone. Did you see the zone? Oh, it looks like it's very central.
I found the edge of the zone.
Well, we found it, and based on the size of the first zone, it's a very center zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, very center zone.
That's going to be a very center zone, and you know who that's going to help? Team Liquid, because they have Chinky.
So who has Roshawk is who I want to know. So I find when it comes to, like, middle like that, it goes in between those two cities.
I am not sure, but I do know that Luminosity is over at Yaz, and then we have Alcadzia over here at Milta and Milta Power. Or, well, I guess Milta Power, because Milta is taken by the Amigos. 2 different people right near prison. H11 Jr. inside the prison. Meanwhile, Penta already over on the rocks up above him.
Fitta might even be driving into the entrance and could be drawing out a bait, perhaps. Surely you see that Penta.
Definitely
I
heard
think
it.
H11 sees Penta. The shots did come this direction.
I think he's gonna go up the hillside on the other side, yes. Doing exactly what he should. And he's just gonna sandwich H11 Jr. over here, but he's gotta be careful, as Mugzer has made his way over here to support Finna. He's gotta be careful while trying to find H11.
So do you think Finna's going to go on the inside or outside of the wall?
I think he's gonna stay right here.
Good spray, and there's the knock. Okay, so that's probably going to be one easy point for Animaniacs. So that opens that opens the door for 1 point for pure RNG, and that probably cues Mugzer to just back off and leave.
Yeah, no reason to stick around. Your teammate's gone. Play this out as a 3-man rather than trying to fight up against the members of pure RNG who have a better idea of where you are. But also, what I've realized lately is, do you think 7.62 guns need a buff?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Because
I think they're pretty good where they are.
I feel like I see most players using 5.56 guns instead of 7.62 guns at this point.
I think most of that comes down to stability on spray, yeah, and the weapon of choice obviously is the AUG.
Right. But
I think if any gun deserves a nerf, it's the AUG. It's just a little too good.
yeah, and that's definitely doable and possible. But I feel like just the disposition and what we see players using is we see 3 players using 5s on a team and maybe 1 using 7s. And that's an if. Sometimes you see all 4 of them running all 5s guns.
I wonder if that comes down to, like, if someone runs out of ammo, it's for ammo sharing purposes. I wonder if that's potentially the truth.
Yeah, I don't know. I do just feel like I see way more 5.56 lately rather than 7.62.
How did you even get this UAZ up here? I didn't know it had the horsepower to do so. I've tried many times and I can't ever do it.
It's difficult. You got to go up at the right angle with the right speed and time it just right.
I'll have to take your word for it. I've never been successful in it. I don't know if you saw it, but 55 did just pick up a drop. I don't know what was in that drop, obviously. We haven't gotten to their camera POV just yet. A Mira VHC with a Panzer. I think they're waiting for a car rotation. I don't think it's going to happen yet. But it might be a gamble that will pay off here in the next zone, because I do expect it to close in their favor. Do we see another bolt action, though? A couple bolt actions, actually. Look at that.
Yeah, more bolties, please. I want to see them. I want to see the bolty kills. They're always so beautiful and so much fun. I mean, we saw that last one on Psycho. That was absolutely crazy of a shot.
Yeah, well, we're hearing about the best of the best there is for stuff like that, so I would imagine that is somewhat in our future. Where is the rest of Team Liquid? Team Liquid's doing a 2-2 split. 2 in Pachinki, 2 on the farm of Pachinki. Interesting. Hope they have a vehicle that they can take without losing a tire either. Because that farmhouse isn't exactly ideal for parking cars.
Yeah, not always the most ideal. And we have so many mosquitoes flying around in my room right now. I just realized I see like 7 of them.
Oh no.
Throwing me off, and I'm very distracted by it.
Well, go get you a clove of garlic and rub it on your skin. They'll leave you alone.
Yeah. If you ever go camping and you want Sparking in the corner, steps out, takes the shots, takes down Flavin. And down goes one of the members of 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. Now down one member is Sparking and Purdy Curdy. Kind of split a little further apart than I think is a great idea, with sharing Pachinki with 2 other teams. But if that's gonna work for them, that's the way it's gonna have to be. Dead end, parking their cars in the ditch. That's gonna save the tires for sure.
Yeah, it might actually.
And I actually kind of like their
alive.
spread too.
That's,
I like their spread.
Interesting way to go about it, but Purdy, I mean, for all we know, Purdy might just like jump down into the ditch, and then he just gets the tires for free anyways.
Yep. Dream 1 picking up the emergency parachute. I think Amigos see this, but are they going to push into it? I think they're going to wait for a chopper timing and then push and like rush the pickup spot and spam it with nades, or even just wait for a ideal spray initially off the pickup. Well,
Yeah.
I suppose we'll see in the kill feed here in a moment if that occurs.
Pickups, they can be dangerous, they can be useful. I feel like we don't really see a ton of teams end up getting punished for them. But I mean, time will tell us.
Yeah, oh, look at how many cars there are on that map. Holy moly. Yeah, Alo, Flalo, and Luke 12 now moving into Sparking's position. As Benya Kapani for Toyo might put some shots in their direction, trying to shoo them away from the garage building. But we are just kind of following along as we see all the players just kind of making a mass exodus, going somewhere they can, anywhere. Fakes it from Mira, actually knocks out Luminosity Gaming's Voxic from atop the hill. Luminosity might actually lose Voxic because I don't think they're next to any trees. They might have gotten behind their vehicle, but I don't think it's going to be redsable without knocking someone else on Mira first.
And we just see so many teams send it for Pachinki. What, we have like 3 or 4 inside of Pachinki currently?
Yeah, Luke 12 does see this. It's not aware of Flame just across the street, at least not yet. Halo Flalo and Sparking here on the garage building, actually doing a 2-2 split. Yeah, Ghost Star General sending it straight into the ditch, but it sees Alcadzia there at the very end, receiving a little bit of damage from Cowboy. No knock is that little concrete, I'll say a rib? Yeah, that little concrete rib does cover one's body if they are crouched.
Mugzera ends up teeing the vehicle in a position where it might make it more difficult to shoot anyone anyways. Alcadzia, they're gonna move the vehicle into a spot where their teammates might be able to help them a little bit more. Luminosity, they are down in this dip where we see some people, or some teams try and go for rotation camps. But wow, so many teams committed to right in the Pachinki area, just like fully sure that this is where the zone is going to go. So if it pulls off of this, it's going to get very interesting. Flamesker with a good nade onto Rello.
Yeah, great throws overall. I mean, that's a very short Molotov. But yeah, Dream 1 should be getting shot by a dead end. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Peak with, I don't know if that was a cook, but there's the throw. Gonna land short. Could have maybe done with the jump just to get that extra distance. Sparking knocking out 4-0's Havit. Alcadzia Roth and the rest of the team now in the south farmhouse. Managing to get back out of the ditch. Animaniacs still on the south side in their respective ditch.
And it's just pandemonium everywhere as teams are all committing to the same spots instead of really spreading out at all. Empire, they had a 2-2 split going. Just like a pretty wide one. So Punaj, Shinboy going to be making their way over here as Michael is going for the res. 55, they weren't in a spot to crash on to the building that they ended up getting the knock at. So it's going to be a good little bit of recovery for Empire before 55 can take part in it, and they still have to find a spot in this next zone.
I'm just trying to look at the map and see where I think it'll go. I think it might actually be a Pachinki ending. And I haven't seen that since 2017. That's the last time I saw a Pachinki ending.
Nah, it's gonna pull outside. Alcadzia is gonna be able to farm. And they're going to be able to do so much damage to everyone.
Yeah, put the poll in the chat. What do we think, everybody? I think it's gonna end in the city. You think it's gonna end out in the field? Logic would tell me you're probably more likely. Yours is probably more likely, but I'm thinking we've seen pretty weird zones the last couple days.
Oh, Ribeiro.
Why stop now?
With a knock to the head of Vapesker.
Oh, 55 Karak's gonna drive straight into LFP. Cameraman's not gonna see that as Luminosity there he is. Fana from Mira taking out Karak, trying to crash that shed. Where's the rest of 55? They're gonna stop at the blue houses just below on the south side of the hill. Who are they gonna fight is the question. Are they gonna try to put the fight back into Luminosity Gaming? Or are they gonna hold themselves against 55? And leave an anchor for Luminosity? Or is someone like the Systematicos about to drive up and shake things up?
I think they're going to drive right
Lost
into
in and the rest
Mira.
of the team going straight into him. Yeah, look at that. Go. Lost in just going to eat the shots. Going to hop out, knock themselves. But give the point to Mira VHZ. Wait, where's the rest of them? Oh, they're getting shot in the back by Luminosity Gaming. That's going to open up the door. Andreza and Ribeiro probably about to die in the coming seconds.
Ribeiro, the last
I think
one
Luminosity's
left.
probably going to get it.
No. It's going to go to Fakeson right when he peeks over here. And there we go. Down goes Systematicos, 15th place. 14 teams left before we are done with the day.
Yeah, Amigos. Wait, Amigos is in yet another team pulling up into Pachinki. Team Liquid actually did somehow meet back up with each other, and they're taking Central Block with Purdy Curdy on one of the lookout tower buildings with the roof, you know.
So what?
They're
Five teams in Pachinki if you count 4-0 in the Pachinki Church.
Yeah, there's 5. Absolutely. I count them.
Yeah, I mean, it's close enough. It's called Pachinki Church, I feel like. So...
And humor me for a moment. What kind of church do you think it is? Baptist? Catholic? Just
Well,
humor me for a minute.
I'd like to point out that there's a hidden room behind a bookcase down below it. So...
All right. What does that say?
It's not a church at all, it's just a spot for a cult. The PUBG cult! PUBG!
Yeah, it's the PUBG headquarters. We see all of the puppy pictures in there, collected on all the shelves in the catacombs.
Yeah. Was that a satisfactory answer?
It's the PUBG cult. I love it.
Yeah.
Team Liquid though, they're trying to shoot everybody. Oh, but Alo Flalo does get down to 12 IG. 12 ig.
12.
I like that name better. 12 ig. Yeah, 12 ig. You gotta say it like Dracula. I don't know. 12 ig.
12 is going to get the kills.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not mess with the 12 as Pirlo is able to dodge out of the way, and Klausen almost finds the knock, but he goes down instead to Vapecar.
Yeah, all these names just happen to be perfect for that. Just one after another. Oh man.
Gosh.
Is that a nade on top of them, or
Blue zone,
what was
right?
that bounce?
I think
What was that bounce?
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
blue
blue zone nade from Hansi, but that was one heck of a bounce. It just went straight over MHP and Paradox.
Didn't you know that blue zones are the bouncy grenades?
Yeah, they are very bouncy. That is something I would like to see changed. They are unnecessarily bouncy, and I'm not sure why.
Difficult position here in between Luminosity and Pure RNG, and Pure RNG look to be the benefactors so far. 2 kills, Caspitan the last one left. As Luminosity, they have 2 knocks, so they're in a little bit of a recovery mode. Snaker's trying to get some damage, and that's 1 tire popped from Senka. Caspitan just barely down over the edge. Senka trying to pop another nade. It looks good. Oh. Caspitan almost ran straight into it as Bizzler gets knocked and flushed by Pure.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate spot. I think Toyo might be the next team to fall, and they would be the only... Okay, 55 proves me wrong.
And then they fall right afterwards. Toyo does go down immediately. Fakeson gets a knock onto XP. 3x close range spray. Not able to tap the last couple of bullets to confirm the flush yet.
Alcazia is moving out of their farmhouse, though, and trying to capitalize on what remains of this fight. Is Fakeson, I think, might be the only one left of Mira. So, yeah, Cowboy sees this spot on the tree, and there it is. Mira's out, despite having a really great spot atop this hill. Meanwhile, Empire, Michael, I think you back off. This is not a fight. I think you won.
No. You got Rello knocked. He's throwing a nade over here. You ready? That's a perfect nade, and it gets the flush. See? That's what I'm saying. He almost takes down Cowboy to follow it up. He's surviving on literally nothing. So the nade goes out, and that one is perfect, too, and it's Michael using the util to annihilate Alcazia, who only has 1 player remaining, and it really could end up being Team Liquid coming back through to take first place at the last second. Luminosity up there on the north, surrounded by a different team.
Yeah, look at this move out, though, from, I believe that's in, no, that's not in check, Dead End. Moving into Dream 1, who isn't even looking for them. They're crossing the street for free. Flameskirt probably hears the audio now, and he's like, oh, guys, we're in trouble. There are 4 guys here. Hansy's not even looking over here. He's too focused on Animaniacs.
Flameskirt, he goes down.
Yeah, Dead End trying to adopt Dream One's location, and that might open the door for Animaniacs to also introduce some damage. But I think ultimately this is going to be a dead ends fight as well. Meanwhile, Roth, the only one standing for Alcadzia, is driving away. Manages to get away? No, they're done. 9th place. This might open the door for Team Liquid to get in.
And Luminosity, they were surrounded, but in the kill feed, we just saw them end up annihilating pure RNG and surviving. Well, Amigos end up going down to the blue zone, so they're down in 8th place. Team Liquid, they're going to have to kind of sneak their way forward. Moo and HFIT are over here to hold the line along with Dior for nothing.
Yeah, Team Liquid still a 4-man. Sparking does finally get knocked. Paradox gets them from behind. But I think there's going to be a free res. No smokes needed. Well, maybe some decoy smokes.
Smokes definitely needed here, I think. 4-0. They know that it's Team Liquid right here. They heard the shots going out. That nade does a little bit of damage towards Sparking. The res, is it going to be able to come out? Or is the util going to be good enough? Svenny from elsewhere does a lot as Luke 12 gets the knock onto one. Alo, the knock onto the other. One remaining, 4-0, and is through the grating. Luke 12 finally able to get it. Alo and Purdy both, Alo and Sparking both knocked. Purdy went down to the links from Svenny. And it's Team Liquid, Empire, Luminosity, and In Check.
Yeah, I'm just going to visit the scoreboard here for just another moment. Luminosity Gaming is in the lead over Team Liquid by what looks to be 13 points, 108 and 95 in favor of Luminosity. So this could realistically be either of their game to end out the night. Because I think they should get the points to pass Alcadzia, who are currently at 122.
Opponent, she goes down to Gats. It really all comes down to what team wins. If either Luminosity or Liquid ends up winning, then I think that team may be able to take home first place. But it is going to be so close. As a good nade from Michael. That is another nade from Michael connecting Gats. I think he's already on a 3rd or 4th knock, and now Team Liquid, they're poking up and over the top. They get a knock onto Voxic. They're going to get the flush. Snakers, the last one left, is Sparking, gets knocked from the side by Andrew. In check, they're going to be the team that just benefits off of all of this. Is Team Liquid, Empire, and Luminosity all going to be down to a solo. And Michael, he's hit every single nade so far. Does that one connect too? Does a little bit of damage. The spray going out. He's trying to find Snakers. Isn't able to get the final shot, but the vehicle explodes, and down goes Luminosity.
All right, so that opens up the door for Team Liquid to maybe even just get a point or two more to get ahead. But In Check, now knowing that they have the numbers game, being a 4-man versus 2 remaining players, who I think they probably know that are both solos.
Oh,
nice nade from
after
Vinny.
Team Liquid first could cause some problems in the leaderboard. Did Team Liquid do enough to jump either of the other teams? And then Empire, 7 kills and a 2nd place in this one. How far up the leaderboard did they get themselves? As Michael gets around 1, and Andrew gonna be driving by Michael. The perfect play to sneak through there. Gets the knock onto Vinny, and he's gonna pick himself up another point. That is 8 kills, all going to Michael, and down he goes from the drive-by. Selfish finishes it off. In check, 5 kills in the chicken dinner in our final match.
Yeah, Team Liquid with 9 kills in 3rd place. That should get them 12 points at least, which will not get them over Luminosity, but that might just get the... No, that couldn't even get them past Alcadzia. So Team Liquid, I think, is going to stay in 3rd place for the night. Luminosity, however, might catch...
It's gonna be close.
I think that's gonna be close. That's gonna be so close.
We're gonna see this updated leaderboard here in just a couple minutes. So we will be back right when that leaderboard decides to show itself. And until
We're
then,
gonna take another break.
yeah,
Oh, we gotta fill time,
we're gonna
man.
fill
We
time.
gotta talk
Okay,
about the game.
yeah,
Yeah, we gotta fill time. That's the last game of
yeah.
the night. It was great to see the teams compete. Team Liquid not quite performing to your standard, being first or second place at the end of the day, which unfortunate, but third place ain't a bad place to be either.
I'm so distracted by all the black flies in my room right now. Sorry. Yeah,
I mean,
no,
if you
third
want to
third
take a break
place
to go
isn't
kill a
bad.
few,
I
go for it.
mean, week one they got second place. Week two they got first place, and week three they got first place. So if they end up in third place, uh, on week four, that's not a bad showing. It means they got top three every single week, and that's pretty darn impressive to be able to consistently be towards the top of the leaderboard. Um, I mean, El Qadzia. I am so glad to see them back towards the top of the leaderboard. They've been in a position where the past couple of weeks, whether one of their team members being away or just trying to get back into the game, haven't really performed up to the expectations I've had of them. And now they come through, and they may end up getting first place on this.
I I think it's going to be awfully close, but I think I'm with you. I think Alcazia is going to take the overall score and followed nipping at the heels, being followed by Luminosity. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
Team Liquid landing in third, not ideal for them. You know, as the reason I said.
We
Yeah.
got
Oh,
our updated
there's
leaderboard.
there it is. Yeah,
There we
123 Alcadzia. There we go. Luminosity at 120 and Team Liquid at 109. Amigos behind by a whopping 40 points. No, 30 points. That's 30 points.
30
Empire
points.
Gaming at 74. Mira at 73, 72 for 55. Inzek or Incheck.
Come on, we
Incheck.
got corrected on that yesterday. Come on, let's
Yeah,
get that
hey,
right.
that is the only time I've said that today. Only time.
It is very impressive.
I know it's just right at the end of all places.
And
Toyo
Surefire,
Esports at 58.
Surefire, you threw out a question. Yes, the answer to your question is yes. That rule is still in play. If you are found cheating, you're not eligible to play at all.
Yep, and that is a lifetime ban, if I remember right. That's the way it was back when I played pro.
Yeah, from all esports. So.
Yep, that is a lifetime ban. And it makes me wonder why. Like, I understand the competitive draw to cheating, but it's just no, just don't touch it. It's kryptonite. You will get caught. It's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah, Surefire. I don't know exactly. I don't know how closely Smirzera follows it, and I'm sure if anything happens during this, it'll get brought up again. But I don't know. But I think that's all we really have. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can set it off for the night. I can go eat my dinner. I have no idea what it is. I can't even smell it. So it might just be a
delicious pizza. No matter what. I just got to find someone to raid and send all you lovely people over to. I am thinking either Simply Matthias or Shane Doe. Who do you guys feel like going over to?
I have no preference.
No preference? No preference? I love Shane Doe. I honestly may just send it over to Shane Doe because I love hearing the raid music in his chat. So I'm going to send you guys on over to Shane Doe. Raid Doe. We're going to raid Doe. That's what's going to happen.
Raid Doe.
So have a wonderful rest of your guys' night. Pleasure to have you guys here, and it's a pleasure to have you here as well, LyteByte.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
So I will see you guys again next week for even more Smirzera action. I'll probably be playing some games here, just some PUBG on Friday and Saturday if you guys want to stop by. But the next Smirzera action happens on Monday. next week. So I will hope to see you guys there. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.